There's no late changes to either team. And they're looking forward to a good contest here this afternoon at UTAS Stadium, which is a big battle for top spot on the ladder. So join us, won't you, in about 5 minutes' time, as City Park Radio's coverage of this big game will start at 5 minutes to 2. Back then. Testing 1, 2. Here we are with 4 minutes to the start of City Park Radio's coverage this afternoon of the big battle between North Launceston and the Tigers. As the Tigers are coming out on the ground, and North Launceston are already out on the arena, and we're getting underway very soon. Just doing a little sound check before we start our broadcast at 5 minutes to 2. See you then.
August 2023. And the song before that, it was a Indonesian Latin group band called El Carmoya with their single Cigaretto. It seems the time is almost finished. Well, in that case, I would like to say goodbye to you all. Thank you for tuning Club Indonesia program. And if you'd like to learn more about Indonesian multicultural, please stay tuned to Multicultural Indonesian program with Bu Umi every second and fourth Saturday of the month. And this is your last song from Idea Ish and the Emotion Band from
North Launceston and the Tigers. Top of the table clash. And it's going to be a magnificent battle here this afternoon between two great teams. Hearing myself going back on the headphones, Chris, if you're listening, thank you, that's no problem. So welcome listeners and viewers on the stream to the North Launceston versus Tigers clash here this afternoon. And it's the battle for top spot. It's going to be a huge battle between two great teams. Of course, North Launceston on a great winning run throughout the season so far. They've lost their first two games of the season, but won every single one since. And they're looking to take on the Tigers, who are early favourites for the premiership here in 2023. Welcome to my co-commentators. First of all, Matthew McGee. G'day, Macca.
Yeah, good afternoon, Foz, and good afternoon to our listeners and to our viewers on the live stream. Beautiful day here at UTAS Stadium, and I'm really looking forward to today's contest. To be totally honest, the last few games we've done haven't been a great contest, so I'm really hoping, been waiting for this one all week. Both these teams have only lost two games all year, with North Launceston a game up their sleeve, and I really think they're a chance today, the Bombers. Last time they did defeat the Kingborough by the 4 points. Bradley Cox-Goodger turned it on that day, and I reckon the Tigers, without Kieran Lovell today as well, will probably have to put a bit of time in to that forward line of North Launceston.
Good afternoon to our expert commentator this afternoon, Mr. Rob Soward. G'day, Rob. You're looking forward to a great game.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave, and good afternoon to you, Macca, and our listeners and viewers. Spring day, finals football is in the air, and as you've said right at the outset, this has got massive ramifications for both these sides. The Bombers get it done today, with the Kingborough Tigers having a bye in the lead up in the next couple of weeks. Bombers could finish top, which means we'll have the major semi-final here. Picking up Macca's point, Dave, he talked about how much work they need to put into the Northern Bombers forwards. Well, one of the strengths, you can throw a blanket over these two sides, but one of the strengths of Kingborough is their intercept game. So that's got to be on the game today if they're going to upset the Bombers. But I'm with Macca. I think the Northern Bombers get it done here today.
Our stats man today, Mr. Dave Groomer, to my right here, bringing us all the team stats throughout the game this afternoon. And our boundary rider making his debut on City Park Radio, Mr. Alec Creswell. Croswell. Gee, I mucked that up.
Jeepers,
I
go
mucked it up
again.
straight away.
Take two.
Okay, let's start again. Making his debut on City Park Radio, Mr. Alec Croswell. G'day, Alec.
G'day, Dave. Thanks for that. It's not a great start to my debut, is it really?
No.
But magnificent day down here, as Mac has said. Sunshine. It's very warm, actually, so should be a perfect day for football. The wind has actually picked up slightly down here. It is blowing towards the city end, so it's not a very strong breeze at all, but may affect the footy in the first quarter. So we've just had the toss, and I'd missed who actually won that. So I do apologise. I was called away, but it is a bit breezy down here, so it is blowing straight towards the city end. So I should favour that team in the first quarter.
Now, who are you tipping, Alec?
I actually am going with the boys as well. I think North Launceston will be a bit too strong today. I think Kieran Lovell's a massive out. And on their home deck, and the deck's a very fast deck today, it's sensational. And I just think they'll be too skillful and too fast.
Cheers, Alec. We'll hear from you during the day.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Gee whiz, what a debut, the boy down there.
Well.
He hasn't really. He's
Alec Creswell, he's missed the toss.
Creswell, he's missed the toss. What a day. He's thrown the head back, just like David Warner getting out in the first over of the Ashes. He's thrown the head back in despair as Alec Croswell. Tell you what, good debut. Well, I don't know about great, but we'll get there. Now, listen, great contest here today, and the likelihood of the top team getting a home final is a lot to play for. I reckon with the calf of Lovell, I reckon they've got a bye next week, Rob, as you mentioned. They're probably going to give him a day. Interesting game today. Young Oliver Dean has come back from the Devils, 200 centimetre, 17-year-old. He will play as a full forward. Also give Alec Lee a bit of a chop out, but he's had some good form in the D-League. I think he kicked a few goals last week down in Hobart. And he will try and stretch with that height, even though he's only young, he will try and stretch that defence of Kingborough in that sort of matchup there, young Ollie Dean.
Yeah, and that'll really be really critical, I think, Macca, for the outcome today. I mean, as we've said, Kingborough have got that good intercept mark game, that good intercept mark in their defence, so someone like an Ollie Dean can stretch them, which means that someone's got to be accountable for him.
Interesting move, Foz, that they have done the last couple of weeks is they put Elijah Reardon on ball, the Tigers. We've seen him off half-back, run and gun from the half-back line. They've put him on ball, and I really like that move, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's an excitement machine, Elijah Reardon. He gives them a lot of impetus across half-back, but as you say, on the big ground, starting him around the ball, great move from Trent Baumler.
What about the big fellas for the Kingborough, Foz?
Yeah, I'm impressed with Tompkinson and Gardner.
Tompkinson and Gardner and Carter, of course. Yep. They've got 3 real genuine tools and bigs.
And Kingborough are really on top in the league for contested possessions. They've got some real bulls in there. James Webb, Eddie Cole, of course. Fantastic players in the on-ball division. But, gee, I tell you what, Simpson and Avent, etc., are doing pretty well this season as well. Nathan Pearce is in there.
And Bradley Cox-Goodyear's lined up on Reardon. So on-ball division. Leary up forward will be a real excitement machine today. And as Rob said, it is a real finals atmosphere early on in this TSL season.
Lockie Clifford starting back.
Righto. First bounce. It's a good one. Alex Lee up against Tompkinson. Ball comes down. It's the first clearance to the Tigers. Inside 50 for Dave Gruber. They come from behind there. Mitchy Nicholas leads to the ball. Sees it over the line. And it's a good start. Kingborough first clearance. Max College, one of the leading goal kicker. 32 goals for the season, Max College. And Connor Young's got him.
Yep, so Connor Young's been shifted forward to back.
Yeah, so some real good matchups. Eddie Cole has taken Simpson, who got the votes last time here. Lee gets it out. Avent by hand. His man Shannon, he twists and turns around Reardon. Gives it back to Avent. Looks up forward here. Oscar Mansell. Been in pretty good form, young Mansell. Good last week. Down at the tip at Lauderdale. Here's the big fella in Harvey Griffiths. And it goes through for the first behind of the day. So, as we mentioned, Ollie Dean starting full forward with Theo Eyes about 30 in front of him. So, Kingborough with a kick out. Goes the far railway wing side of the ground. Tompkinson can't take it. And caught in the tackle there is Will Clifford, one of those many on-ball division that they have at their disposal, the Kingborough Tigers.
Up it goes. Tompkins wins a tap straight down the throat, though, of Avent. Funny old kick. Almost finds its way to Oscar Mansell. It's going to be a free kick back on play. It's going to go to Oscar Mansell. 2 kicks out from goal. Plays on, unsure what to do. Gets round Campbell. No, he doesn't. Great tackle, Will Campbell, the veteran. He wins the free kick for Kingborough. Now they can springboard the other way. Takes his time, though. Good coverage by North Launceston in defence. Campbell goes long up the line. And over the back. Mark taken there by Hubbard. He plays on. 45 kick. Now we've got a holding free kick off the ball. So it's going to come back here to Kingborough. And James Zeitzen, exciting player from Signet Football Club, who's been amongst the goals this year. Zeitzen plays on. Runs full measure. Kicks inside 50. Gardner's there. Good thump from behind by Leaflang. Good interception there by Campbell. He's tackled though and holding the ball. He later tackled himself 30 seconds ago and now he gets caught with the ball by Ben Simpson. And a vital tackle it was too as he's about to launch for goal with Campbell. Shifting kick now over towards Leaflang. Plenty of time. Further on now to his fellow backman in Bennett. Bennett's on the defensive side of the wing. Oh, it's a poor kick from Bennett. And Godomski takes it for the Tigers.
So Godomski, Declan Chugg there, back into the side for North Launceston. Finds Tompkinson, does Godomski. So Tompkinson, here's Reardon, the run and gun. He leaves Cox Goodyear behind. You give him a bit of his own medicine. The ball's going to fall short though. Not quite there. Kingborough taking the ball. George O'Neill turns, looks. It's going to go. It's a goal. First goal of the day to the Tigers. George O'Neill. He turned him on a bit and got around and snapped it towards the city end and they're away. But it was Reardon, wasn't it? From here, that's what we expect.
It was Reardon, and as you said, Macca, which was very insightful, it was like Brad Cox-Goodyear does to other sides. Reardon just broke away and loaded that big leg up and created that opportunity. Something we haven't touched on yet, we've talked about the exciting matchups across the ground, but Tompkinson versus Lee is going to be huge today because in just about every Northern Bombers game we've seen, Lee's basically had it on his own terms. Dominant ruckman, but also great below his knees. That battle is going to really have a significant impact on who wins this game today, Macca.
It is, and just bringing all the scores around the state. So Lauderdale and Glenorchy. Lauderdale are away to a point head start there and a goal apiece down at North Hobart. We'll also give you the big grand final from the Odfa, Tri-Bunnaroos versus the Campbelltown Robins. And on the Big Island, it's Richmond 1-1 and the Kangaroos 1-1. Of course, Jack Rewalt, Trent Cotchin's farewell game.
D-League earlier, it was North Launceston 13-15-93, defeated Kingborough 4-7-31. Underway again. Taking his web. He's tackled from behind. Tompkinson can't hold it. He lays a tackle on Cox Goodger. And he held on too long to Cox Goodger, so he'll come back. Defensive side of the centre circles. Brad Cox Goodger, who started on the ball, as Macca said. He's a big game player. I've seen him play up forward almost exclusively this year. Short kick to Nicholas, right in the centre circle. Short again to Avent. He goes wider out here and finding. That's Manshandon over there. Will Manshandon. Spearing kick to Leary. First, can't get the second grab on the recovery. Spits it out to Avent. Back to Manshandon. This way, that away. Gets around Griggs. Left foot pass inside 50. Hits Pearce. Must have been touched or not 15. Pearce snaps for goal. First goal, is it for North Launceston? No, across the face. One behind to Nathan Pearce. So it's 1 goal, straight 6 the Tigers. North Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points. Frenetic start here at UTAS Stadium. Beautiful conditions. Going to see some great footy this afternoon. Ben Donnelly from defence. Out here looking for College. Thumped from behind by Young. Falls to the front of the contest. Cox Goodger, 55 out. Get towards goal, but it's across the face. And it's out of bounds on the full. And Elijah Reardon will relieve the pressure now for the Tigers. They lead by 4 points.
It looks like Reardon's gone straight back there, to be totally honest with you, Rob.
Yeah.
So he started midfield and he's now matched up on Harvey Griffiths.
Yeah, interesting.
So he did the centre hit out and then found his way back into that favourable spot of half back. Reardon didn't quite hit the kick. Chug puts the pressure on. James Webb it was. Oh, Cox Goodger says they don't argue. Dusty Martin style and finds Ollie Dean. So Ollie Dean, the youngster we mentioned in the pre-game, he's a big string bean, Rob.
He is. 6'6" in the old money.
He's left his father behind, of course, premiership player at Clarence back in the old State League days. Dual premiership.
Does he kick for goal like his father?
Well, his father never kicked many. So Ollie Dean is about 35 out. It looks good off the boot. It just drifts with that little bit of breeze pushing over towards the hill. And it's through for a behind. So Reardon, he missed the last kick out. Let's see what he can do. He takes some yards, goes the other side of the ground this time, and it goes out of bounds in front of Lachlan Sulzberger.
It's interesting that they're using him for the kick-ins. As we said, he's been starting up here on Cox Goodger, and he's just such a running machine. So we'll watch that one with interest, Macca.
Bradley Cox Goodger mentioned during the week that with these teams likely to face each other in the finals, do either side show their full hand? And it'll be interesting to see. I still think they'd want to win the game rather than playing Ducks and Drakes. And the ball's gone inside 50, but it's a ball up.
I'm with you. You wouldn't want to go and be playing your major semi-final of the Twin Ovals, would you?
Well, let's be honest. No, that's right. I think they'll play to win. There's some great contests. North Launceston is still a very young side. Boys that are young in age, but they've been playing a couple of years now of senior footy. And here's one of them. Dominic Pitt, Fozzie's favourite, holding the footy. Good pressure from behind by Eddie Cole. Cole looks out, goes wide. It's way out over there was Lachlan Sulzberger, but he's turned the ball over and kicks it to Bradley Cox Goodger.
Cox Goodger, centre wing, sums up his options, kicks high, inside 50 up here looking for Ives. Well done, Donnelly. Falls it back to Brereton. Handball over the top. They can relieve the pressure through McCulloch. His kick couldn't find a target. From the spillage though, it comes towards Reardon. Plenty of time. Takes the bounce. Electric off half back. Kicks a high ball to centre half forward. Chance here for College up against Young. Now Nicholas arrives on the scene. Taps it to his own advantage. Well done, Mitch Nicholas. Has support from Young. They worked that out well. Now to Pearce. Pearce takes his time. 45 kick finds Blade Sulzberger. Big game last week. Another 45 kicks. Beautiful. Event though. He coughs it up. From the spillage at Sulzberger. Back to Griggs. Griggs, that's a sweeping kick. Who can he find? Only Leary, who leads the race for the ball. Takes it. Tackled from behind there. Good pressure from Will Clifford. Important contest. Will Clifford in again. Weighed out of it by Pitt. No one can win an effective possession, and it's going to be a free kick going North Launceston's way.
Bales.
Harry Bales on the left foot. Kicks it to the advantage of Ives. He's against 2, and Godomski takes the mark back there. Well done to Lachlan Godomski.
Well, both sides just struggling to connect with their forwards. North Launceston will get the inside 50s in a moment for Dave Gruber. Griggs down the line looking for the goal kicker in O'Neill, but Connor Young does well, the experience, and takes the mark. All free kick, take your pick. Young, another inside 50, reared in with the punch, or spun on its end. It looked to be going out, but it didn't, and they've done well. They've come out now and find Will Campbell. So Campbell slows things down, been a frantic start. 3 points North Launceston, the Tigers 1 goal straight. They go the far side of the ground. Godomski looks over for Will Clifford. He turns back inside. Godomski steps inside, does well down the line, and now they connect. And they connect through Blake McCulloch. Inside 50, they've done well. Tyler Carter. So Carter, he takes the mark in front of Bennett. Another good contest, 2 A-graders of the TSL. And Carter's going to have a kick from goal. Probably just inside 50, Rob, when he gets the chance. Towards the city end, but a little bit of breeze.
Yeah, important, but look good going forward, setting up for this shot on goal.
So Carter on the left side. There goes the Vuvuzela. It doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It misses. It looked good, but he misses, and it's a goal. It is a goal. Well, that was strange. I thought the umpire...
I saw the same as you, Macca. They signalled as if it was a behind, didn't they?
As if it was a behind, but it's a goal to Tyler Carter. Well, that's bizarre. Don't know what I saw. I thought it was a goal, and the umpire tricked me. And it's a goal to Tyler Carter. So they're away. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber, please, Foz. Can you have a look over his shoulder, please?
Yes, I can indeed. It's inside 50s, 7 to North Launceston, 5 to Kingborough. Now, the goal umpire's got a hand up.
No, that's just to show they're in the square.
Okay,
that's
no
the
problem.
666.
Sorry, I thought you might be.
Very important now, the goal umpire. They come out. Haven't you seen that?
No.
Oh, I made mention of it a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, I haven't listened again anyway.
Inside 50s again, please.
7 to North Launceston, 5 to Kingborough.
Got to get the scoreboard pressure, don't they?
Gardner in the ruck now, wins the tap. Overrunning it there is Cole. Back to Gardner, gets it to Cole. Handball goes straight to Dominic Pitt. Over now to Pearce. 60 out. Pearce towards goal. A lot of numbers back there for the Tigers. Leary almost makes it good there for North Launceston. But it spills out of bounds behind the behind post.
It's that last kick inside 50 that's letting the Bombers down at the moment, guys. As we've talked about, that intercept defence of Kingborough have started really, really well.
Yeah, one of the best defences in the league. Got a lot of experience back there. Bounty throw in. Dean up against Gardner. Clearing kick by James Webb. Close to the boundary. Golding's in there. And we've got a holding free kick coming back here to George O'Neill. Kicked the goal earlier, but he's drifted up. Handball over the top to James Webb. Will be under pressure. Back to O'Neill. That's a good move by the Tigers. They're taking the game on at the moment. Lead up. Good kick. And good mark there to Tompkinson out in front. Against Leaf Lang. Tompkinson looking for Carter once again against Bennett. Bennett does well this time. He falls over. Carter can't take possession. Now he does. Is he tackled high? No. Play on. It's up against the boundary line. Now Leaf Lang. Back to Bennett. Over the top to Simpson. Gee, they did that well. Now to Leaf Lang. Superb play out of defence by North Launceston. But Pitt coughs it up to Lockie Clifford. He plays on. And it's a lovely lead and mark to College.
You said they did it well, Foz, but they were under pressure every time they handballed it. So, yes, they kept it off them for a little while, but, Rob, they were under pressure.
They were. Kingborough certainly come to play today. Their pressure's been exemplary, and there's no better example of that than there.
Max College has kicked 32 for the season.
He's a lot bigger than I thought for, I suppose, a small forward, Foz, to be honest.
Yep, he's having a great breakout season for the Tigers. College, who kicked from right on 50. Can he get the journey? He certainly can, but he's offline, one behind. That's their first behind, 2-1-13. They lead North Launceston 3 behind, 3 points. This is City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5 with Matthew McGee.
The Northern Bombers, Rob, are a team that like to flick it around by handball, but that was handball under pressure then.
It was.
As Bales finds man Shandon. Here's the handball we talked about. Leaf Lang under pressure, gives it to Bales, who kept running. Here's Griffiths. Inside out kick looking for his coach in Cox Goodger. He sets, he can't take it though. Here's Pearce at the bottom of the pack, but he sees it out of bounds on centre wing. The scoreboard reads North Launceston 3 behinds, the Tigers 2-1-13. Big day for the Northern Bombers today, Foz.
Yes,
one of their celebrations.
And a lot of pictures put up on social media during the week. They're great teams from the past. Great history at this club.
Sulzberger gets better with every game. Here's Pearce. Not a great kick because he was under pressure. And it's intercept mark to McCulloch. Left foot's got to be good, and it is. It's a beautiful kick. Finds Ed Golding in front of Manshandon. So Golding goes down the line. Geez, they're connecting well. It's 2-on-1. They lose it to the 2, and it's Chugg to Simpson. Chugg put under pressure. He spun 360. He's got to be gone. And he is. Lockie Griggs with the free kick.
Another example of that fantastic pressure from Kingborough. They have come to play, Macca.
Good lead, Max College. Goes in that direction. It's got to be a free kick, though. It's a push in the back. Will Campbell got rid of his opponent illegally. And Bales, he plays on. He's going to get pocketed from behind. He didn't know he was there. He finds Nicholas. Nicholas cool under pressure. Handballs. Goes well now. Through to Dominic Pitt. One of the players into the side. Chugg steps inside with good running power. Looks up. Here's Griffiths. 1-on-1. He takes a good mark. There's Harvey Griffiths. He turns.
Oh.
I looked to where it was going to go, but it never got there because it was smothered on 50 in front of the scoreboard here at UTAS Stadium. And they're under pressure, and they're under big pressure. But it's going to be a free kick holding the footy. The Kingborough player, Bastic, didn't want to take enough risk to get it out. And Harvey Griffiths has got the free kick right in front of that scoreboard. I doubt he can make the distance. There is a breeze. He's going to kick from beyond 50. Be a miraculous kick from there. He lays back on it, top of the square. Ives sits, off hands through for a behind. So they're doing it in singles. The Northern Bombers, 4 behind, 16 minutes gone. You listen to City Park Radio. You're about to listen to the captain. We'll call him Captain Courageous today, Rob, because he's been on his deathbed this week. He's managed to get himself up for this call. Here he is, the king, Dave Moore.
Yeah, a little bit of a head cold.
Oh, listen to the voice.
Days.
Listen to it.
It's going to get huskier as the day goes on.
He won't be quiet, though. You want to keep calling those big goals, won't he?
Cigar and Scotch whiskey voice, that one.
That's it. The ball goes out of bounds.
Off the hands of George O'Neill. So it's going to be a boundary throw in. 2 kicks around from North Launceston's goal. Yet to score their first goal. 17 minutes in. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Out it comes now to Avon, who's been busy. Now to Pearce. Left foot kick. Tries to find Cox Goodger. But he can't get there before the boundary line. It's out of bounds on the full.
Still managed to fix the sponsors in, though.
I was going to say it could be a growing sponsorship thing with all those whiskey companies in Tassie.
Lauderdale are away. They're 21-0 Glenorchy. The score's not there for Launceston, but Tribunna, they're 36, lead the Campbelltown Robins 19.
Okay, we'll keep you up to date with that one. Long kick out by Godomski, looking for Tompkinson, front position. He's monstered from behind. Lee works it to Chugg. Intercepted, though, there nicely by O'Neill. Reardon now. Oh, he gets caught with the ball. He tries to take a bounce as he's tackled. Great tackle, Declan Chugg. A little bit of afters with Reardon. But audacious stuff from Elijah Reardon, but he was never going to get out of that. Is it going to be 50? I think it is. This might take young Declan Chugg down to a scoring position.
Against Reardon?
Doesn't get to the goals very often, Macca, young Declan Chugg.
No, he's been playing more as a back pocket. Started his TSL career as a small forward.
Might fancy himself here. Reardon's about 48 metres out on the mark.
Can't kick this.
45-degree angle. Macca's called it off already. Let's see how he goes. Gets round. Gets good distance. Kicks the goal.
Kenny Watt. Well, I didn't expect Reardon not to. I suppose you can't move on the mark.
It played into his hands, didn't it? I mean, that stand rule. Chugg just ran around him.
4 or 5 metres. My word, he's a good runner.
Chugg just ran around him. I mean, costly mistake there from Reardon. He's so important to them. And the thing I like about him is he's just got that break line potential, which is so important at any time, but on this big ground. But that's certainly got the Bombers back into the frame, guys, because it's certainly been Kingborough early showing their dominance.
You can definitely tell that it's 1v2, can't you? Compare this to some of the games we've done earlier in the season. Just 1v2. You can just tell the pressure, the tackling pressure, the speed of ball movement as well.
Tigers 8 inside 50s, North Launceston 10.
I don't know what the Prince has got downstairs. If he's got anything down there,
we'll get to him at the next stoppage. I'm trying to think about it.
Just give him something to do on debut. Pearce on ball. Tries to go off the ground, can't do so. Comes out the back to Eddie Cole. All very similar, aren't they, those Tiger on-ballers? They just do so well. This is a free kick against Reardon. It's going to be Simpson, who's holding his nose.
Getting up slowly.
Might be a bit of blood, something for the Prince down there to keep an eye on. We've got the King up here. We've got the Prince Croswell down there. Real royalty today. Simpson goes wide. Nice kick.
Mansell, I think.
Mansell, it is Mansell, but he's turned it over. He's turned over to Lachlan Sulzberger on the cut-off. So Sulzberger goes wider out to the railway wing, right near the boundary line. So the Tigers, with their experience, let's see what they want to do. They don't want to go long at the moment, but they're going short and they're turning the ball over. Clifford, he steps. Cox-Goodger puts the pressure on from behind. It continues to be tackle pressure. O'Neill to Griggs. Back. But they turn it over again, back behind the footy, Simpson, but he slips. Should have taken it, can't do so. They pile in, both teams, hard contest. Umpire circles. I've no idea who's on the bottom of this. It's not Simpson, it's a Northern Bombers player, and it's going to be a free kick to the Tigers to Webb.
It's Bales, I think, Macca.
Bales, he sat on it. They've been hot on that today, the umpires. So Webb, been a great inclusion into this side this year. James Webb. Chugs there. Kingborough take the ball through Marcus Gardner. Shannon steps across the line. Umpire says you can throw that one in.
We've seen a couple of costly slips, which is amazing because the ground's in fantastic condition and it's a beautiful day. So I'm not sure why that is.
Boundary throw in. Left forward pocket, City end of the ground. 21 minutes gone. North Launceston trail by 3 points. Tigers into attack. Dave Gruber's got the binoculars up, looking to put the stats down. And it's going to be another ball up. 15 metres out from goal. Lauderdale 33, Glenorchy 0. Umpire's blowing the whistle, blood rule.
Well, might give it a chance to get down to Alec Croswell down there. What's up there, Alec?
Yeah, g'day, Dave. Can't see who's coming off as of yet, but looks like a bloody nose, so...
And how are things looking at ground level? A pretty hot contest?
Yeah, it is. Great pressure from both sides, actually. Tackling pressure is elite at the moment. And as you notice, a lot of that plays over the far side, and that's where the breeze is blowing, where the ball is now in that forward pocket.
James Zeetson was the one that came off, so just the blood rule. Here they go, they circle, got to be high. It's not high. Umpire says you've ducked Will Campbell, so it's play on. Continues to be a hot contest. Umpire says now you've pushed in the back, and it's going to be a free kick to the Northern Bombers. North Hobart lead Launceston 15-6, and Triabunna lead Campbelltown 36-19, and Richmond by 5 points over the Kangas.
Jug, sorry, make it Jug short to Bales. Tries to spot up someone at half back, and that's dangerous. Intercepted by Brower. Ooh, O'Neill went in hard there. Comes out towards Shannon. He's tackled by Cole. And good forward line pressure again by the Tigers now. There's going to be a free kick. That was silly from Eddie Cole. He gave away a free kick when they had the advantage there of staying inside their attacking 50. He gives it away to Shannon. He switches it now to Avent. He's probably the leading possession winner at the moment on the ground. He's had a fair bit of it in this first quarter. Avent leans back on a kick up here, looking for Cox-Goodger. Off hands, it stays in play. Tompkinson there, tackled by Cox-Goodger over the boundary line. On the railway wing, boundary throw in. It's North Launceston 1-4-10, trailing the Tigers 2-1-13. 23 minutes gone. We're going to report at half-time from Andrew Calling, who's calling the stream today down there at North Hobart. A pretty important game, that one. Mathematically, North Hobart can still make the finals if they knock off Launceston today. It's a long shot, but...
I'll give them a big chance down there, to be honest, Foz. I think Launceston, without those Devils players, they just look... week, and of course Jake Hines got a week suspension during the week, which hurts them even more, so it's a big challenge for Launceston against North Hobart.
Ball comes over from O'Neill, speculative handball, can't really find a teammate. Now it's a loose footy at half forward, runners after it, kicked off the ground there by Brower, falls to back play, good pick up by Chug, who's had a pretty good first quarter, second game back from injury. Now to Avent once again, kick out the wing for Ives, who presents well, can't grab the mark. Cox-Goodger might have been held. In fact, it was Sulzberger. Now comes out towards Gibson, who kicks inside, attacking 50. It's going to be a free kick to Dean. Young Oliver Dean in the marking contest. And he's got it 30 metres out directly in front. And a chance to give the lead to the Northern Bombers for the first time this afternoon.
Just the height, Rob Soward. Like, if he sticks the hands up, you know, it's well and truly 2.5 metres up. So to be undersized, all you can do is really, you know, thump the arms.
Absolutely, and that's where they're stretching them at the moment.
Oliver Dean kicks towards goal, and he kicks it for North Launceston and puts them in front here at UTAS Stadium. Deep in the into time on in this first quarter. They're 2-4-16, leading the Tigers 2-1-13. And nice positive kick too from Gibson there. It's about his first touch of the day, but a good involvement.
Yeah, it was. It was a really nice kick, and as I've said earlier, it's where they've struggled a little bit, the Bombers, that last kick inside 50. But Dean's giving them that focal point, which is going to get that Kingborough defence just thinking a little bit more rather than just sagging off and taking an intercept and then setting it up. They've certainly got to be aware of him, particularly that size mismatch they've got at the moment.
Looks like a few acquaintances are getting close down there at North Hobart Oval at quarter time. Little fracas. We might hear about that one later on from the call. North Melbourne hit the front against the Tigers by 2 points. Rob Soward bows the head. We'll talk about the Tigers in a minute because the man in Mexico at the moment, they'll be keeping a very close eye on that one. Pitt gets the ball out of the centre clearance, but he turns it over to the Tigers. Here come the hit-up leads. Campbell bounces off his chest. Can't take the footy. It bounces around now. There for Kingborough's Lachlan Sulzberger. Good tackle. I like the size of Sulzberger. He's another one with strength, isn't he? Medium tall. Yeah, of course, Maxie Walker. He's doing the world tour. He's been to Canada. He's been to Vegas last week, and today's in Mexico.
I can see him sitting around with
just before midnight, a little sangria or something there, a little fish bowl. North Launceston take the mark in the back line through Bales, back into the side. Solid backman. He's one of these young blokes that we mentioned. He's young by age, but he's second, third year senior footy.
They've got some games into them, which is terrific, and why they're so strong at the moment.
Oh, it's a good mark. It's a really strong mark to Will Gibson. We saw his old man take plenty of them here at Northern Bombers. Of course, the son of a gun. Young Will, Jason's his father, William Leach medalist back in the day. That's a push in the back. Umpire Moore says. The umpire agrees with you, Fozzel. And it's going to be the Tigers off half back.
Long kick up the wing. That was Brereton with the kick there. And a push out there from Tompkinson. He's frustrated there. Leaf Lang will win at the free kick. Defensive side of the wing. Twirls the ball in his hands. There's Connor Leaf Lang having a great season. Invited now to play on. Kicks close to the boundary line, looking for Lee. Off the hands of Brereton. Taken by Griffiths. Little short left foot kick. Taken in back play by Lockie Clifford, who's playing down back today. Gets it to Will Clifford. They shift the ball around there through the hands of Jake Williams. And it's centred up now at halfback. They did that pretty well. They kept possession. And now they can relieve with Will Clifford. He goes wide. Over there to the Godomski. Lockie Godomski, former Tassie Devil player, kicks up the wing. Up here and finding Golding. Ed Golding does well. He backs himself. He plays on, tries to spot up Carter, but in the way was Fletcher Bennett. Bennett just allowed to play on easily. Not sure what Carter was doing there. But anyway, taken now by Golding once again. Back to Lockie Clifford, who sees the ball out of play. Defensive side of the wing for the Tigers. Close to quarter time. The Bombers lead by 3 points in this battle for top spot. Inside 50 to Dave Gruber, 11 to North Launceston, 11 to Kingborough. Yeah. So really even first quarter on the scoreboard and statistics-wise. Gardner front position. Lee wins the tap though, out towards Williams. Jake Williams takes the ball. He managed to get rid of it to Cole. Cole just kicks blindly. Can't find a teammate, and it's going to be another ball up deep in the first quarter here at UTAS Stadium. The Bombers by 3.
Should mention too that the score at quarter time at North Hobart is the North Hobart Demons by 9 points. And the Bombers, the Lauderdale Bombers, they're 34-0 up on the Magpies. And half-time, and there's quarter time here. But half-time down at Oatlands, it is Tribunna 36-19. Big crowd down there by the looks of the stream. So 28, nearly 29 minutes that quarter was, Rob. And it's North Launceston 2-4-16. Ended up getting in front of the Tigers 2-1-13. And the goal kickers, all singles, to Declan Chugg and Ollie Dean. And for Kingborough, George O'Neill and Tyler Carter. It was a tight battle, Rob.
It was a tight battle, and the Bombers would be pretty happy with the way they finished off that quarter, Macca, because it was all Kingborough early. They had the first 2 goals on the board. Their rebound was really, really good. Their intercept marking was terrific, but you just got the feeling that the Bombers just kept chipping away and working around it. And you also get that feeling that if the Bombers can just get that last kick inside 50 sorted a bit better, with someone like an Ollie Dean, who we've already seen on the board with a goal, you get the feeling that they can make some things happen. So, as we've said, it's clearly one of the best games we've seen all year between 2 very, very evenly matched sides. You go through the statistics, throw a blanket over them, other than the contested possessions that go Kingborough's way and the intercept marks that go Kingborough's way. So, it's just going to be an exciting rest of the game, and Bombers up by 3 points at the moment, not much between them.
And not much between them, Rob, on the statistics sheet, as provided here by Dave Gruber, who's right next to me here in the commentary box. And the hit-outs, North Launceston 9 to Kingborough 8. Clearances, 9 to North Launceston, 6 to Kingborough. Inside 50s, 11 apiece. Marks inside 50, 1 to North Launceston, 2 to Kingborough. Free kicks, 12 to the Bombers, 8 to the Tigers. And intercept marks, 5 each. Quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. It's North Launceston 2-4-16, leading the Tigers 2-1-13. Back in a moment.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
What if I told you there's a job out there where you can really make a difference? Where you can inspire others and be inspired? Where your workmates make you laugh constantly? Not only that, but you could work from home, set your own days and hours and find financial freedom. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. If you love working with children, join our Thrive Group family and become one of our family daycare educators. Give us a call on 6341 1555 or visit thrivegroup.org.au. Thrive Group, proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
I've been watching the decluttering TV shows and I've been inspired and motivated. My first task was to sort out old jewellery boxes from my mum, Auntie Jean and my own collection. Single gold earrings, broken and outdated gold jewellery. It's amazing how much I found. I took the lot to cash converters, received a very tidy amount of cash, and now I'm off to enjoy a nice little break with the proceeds.
Right now, cash converters are paying top prices for gold. So cash in your unwanted jewellery today. Cash Converters, Kings Meadows. Trusted and locally owned for 25 years. A proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Dave Moore here with Matthew McGee, Rob Sauer, Dave Gruber and Alec Croswell on the boundary. He's just down there having listened to Trent Baumler's speech. We'll get to him in just a moment. Got a couple other scores from finals around the region here. In fact, one that's probably about 100 metres away from where we're calling the game. Earlier today in the reserves in the Division 1 NTFA, it was Old Scotch 9-9-63, defeated Old Launcestonians 4-4-28. And a little bit of a surprise score here based on ladder positions in the senior game at quarter time. Lilydale 4-4-28, St Pat's 3 behinds, 3 points. Update there from Oatlands, ODFA Macca.
Yeah, it's Tri-Bunner. Oh, they're just taking the score down. Tri-Bunner just in front at half-time anyway. But the big score around the country is the Gold Coast Suns, a 5-3-33. They lead Carlton 0-2-2. Sorry to tell you that, young Alec down there on the boundary. But he's still standing with that shock score. And it's the North Melbourne Kangaroos. They're 5-5-35, leading the Tigers 3-3-21. Sorry, Rob Soward. And it's just underway in the second quarter at North Hobart. And it's North Hobart by 9 points.
And of course, Josh Arnold today breaking the game's record in the TSL. Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah, 238.
Yep.
Getting over the top of Jay Blackberry, of course, who we called last week at South Lonnie. So 237 Jay, 238 Josh Arnold. And he's signed on again next year. So the record will be continued to break every week. He might be breaking his own record, media every week, front page of the Mercury. Every week from now, he'll be breaking his own record.
So, Rob, have you seen the first quarter? Obviously, a pretty even battle here at UTAS Stadium. Which way is it going to break? It's hard to tell, isn't it?
It is hard to tell. It's just a real arm wrestle. You just get that feeling that, when you've got the two top sides and top by a fair way, I think head and shoulders above teams 3 and 4, just really feeling each other out, testing the waters, so to speak, Dave. I went the Northern Bombers way at the start of the game with my prediction. I haven't seen enough to shift from that. I think just on what we've seen so far, as I said, the Bombers to me have got to fix up that last kick inside 50, which I've said. For Kingborough, it's about maintaining that pressure for 4 quarters. Their pressure rating's been right off the charts, and it's really, really hard to do that, and it's hard to do that on a big ground.
Of course, they've got those big forwards up there, but they've also got those small, dangerous forwards. We saw George O'Neill pop up. We know what Max College can do, James Zeitz, and so they've got some players up there that can score some goals, but as do North Launceston, that's one of their strengths as well. Alec, you've just emerged from Trent Bormler's speech at quarter time. What did he have to say to the boys?
Yeah, Dave, Trent Bormler, he was very positive, actually. He's very happy with the way they started, especially their pressure around the footy. Where he does want them to lift, though, is just a little bit of forward pressure, so stopping those exits out of defence. He's very happy with the ball movement as well. And he was actually quite calm and relaxed, and as I said, very pleased with the boys first up.
Mate, any injury worries you could see there during that first quarter?
None of note. There were Theo Ives and Zeitz, both came off with blood noses, but nothing to worry about there, so no signs of concussion or anything serious there. Foz.
Thanks, Alec. We'll talk to you again during the second quarter. About to get underway. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Thanks for your support throughout the season. Some big games coming up. Got 2 more home and away games in the TSL after this. Plus then we've got finals coming up as well. So it's an exciting end of the season.
Just going to shut the gate here.
Yep.
Literally, I'll shut the gate before the game can start. Tri-Bunner up by 6 points at half-time, and a big crowd there on the stream. And Lauderdale 34, League Glenorchy 0, and Launceston have kicked one, so they're 16-12 down, 4 points at North Hobart.
Second quarter action, City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. Underway now, here's Matthew McGee.
It was a massive clash in the first quarter. Let's see who can break free in the second. It's Simpson with the first touch. He finds Cox Goodger. Pressure on him from Reardon. They got a set here, both players. They went up, they came down. The ball was in the middle. That was Mansell. Mansell there. Fighting in and under is Eddie Cole. Gets it on the outside now to George O'Neill, one of the goal kickers in the first quarter. Lockie Young, I've liked his steadiness down back, Foz. Different role for him. And Fletcher Bennett also. And the ball goes out of bounds, just to the right of the scoreboard. So North Launceston kicking towards the city end. Lauderdale towards the end of May Park. And as you said, Foz, interesting score. Lilydale in front of St Patrick's. Avent gets a second touch. Tries to give it to Lee. Pressure's on again. Cox Goodyer burrows the shoulder in. Was looking for the free kick, but he actually missed everyone. He was looking to duck that lead with that shoulder, maybe trying to get a high free kick. No one made contact with him. And Reardon once again lines up on Cox Goodyer. On the ball. Sulzberger comes flying through. Griggs was there as well with Godomski. That could be a push in the back. And it is. It's going to be a free kick to one of those on-ballers of Eddie Cole. So Cole missing Kieran Lovell today. That's a forward punt. It could be good, though, because it hit the chest, but it bounced out. It wasn't pretty. Reardon, inside forward 50. Don't see him there often. That's another ball up.
Yeah, throwing their team around. Will Campbell's up forward some stage.
Yeah.
It's the drop the mark there. He probably should have taken. As Tyler Carter wins the tap out. Out the back now to Simpson. Nice hands to Cox Goodyer. Sweeping over to Connor Young. Kicks up the wing. Donnelly is there with Ives. It's out of bounds on the full, so Ben Donnelly will take the relieving free kick. One of the best fullbacks in the league is Ben Donnelly. Mr. Reliable. Right against the boundary line on the far side. Kicks it into the pocket. Zeitz in there with the fly. Sharkdo by Pearce. Mopping up is Connor Young. Oh, gee, the handball's not great. Trying to find Pearce there from Bennett. And it spills out of bounds. Boundary throw in. 35 metres around from the Tigers' goal. They kicked the first 2 goals of the game. But the Bombers responded with the next two, hence their 3-point lead, 3 minutes into this second quarter. Taken there by James Webb. He's laying on the ball. How does the umpire read this? No prior. Ball up. So just a bit of a scrappy start to the second quarter. So it could be the quarter that really decides this game. If one team can get on top, it won't be a high-scoring game. Beautiful tap out now to Pearce, who takes the ball on the run. Kicks up the wing, looking for Ives, spills over the back. Leary's there, he's been quiet so far. Gets the arms free, gets it to Pearce. Pearce left foot kick. Oliver Dean front position. Bastic from behind does the spoil. And that's out of bounds. So they've worked their way now into attacking position of the Northern Bombers. 3.5 minutes into this second quarter. City Park Radio Sport next week at Windsor Park. Launceston versus Lauderdale, which will be a pretty big game for Launceston if they go down today. Boundary throw in. And we got a shepherding free kick here. It's going to go the way of North Launceston. Handball now to Sulzberger. Kicks inside 50. Chance there for Will Clifford, went through his fingers. Now the dangerous Leary. Snaps for goal, Brandon Leary, but he's off target on this occasion. And out of bounds on the full. Murray Bastic will take the free kick in the back pocket for the Tigers.
So Bastic, I reckon at times Leary just snaps that ball too quick. He probably could have kept going and maybe even broken away even further. Like, he does kick at them. And Bastic, here is Leary. He's high, he's taken high, it has to be. Free kick against Eddie Cole. So Leary is about 70 metres from goal. Dean leads. Theo Ives is there. Didn't sound like a great kick off the boot. That's a high one. Both umpires saw it. One in control and the one up the ground. Lockie Griggs
having a fine season.
Going to take the free kick. He is. Plays that sort of wing and then defensive half back. He goes long and he goes wide and he finds his teammate on the outer wing there in Blake McCulloch. So McCulloch, he's been slowed up though. They've done well, North Launceston. So McCulloch down the line, railway wing. Avent was in front. Simpson sets, taps it off the ground to Chug. He's well tackled by O'Neill. It's a great tackle because it's now a turnover. They come away through Webb. Left foot kick. Young doing well in the back line is the evergreen Young against Max College. Good matchup. Coming out with it is O'Neill. Front of the scoreboard. They set. Oh, it's nearly a good mark to Carter on the boundary line, but it's off hands, off his chest. 5.5 minutes gone. North Launceston 2-4-16. Tigers 2-1-13. No score this quarter yet. Gold Coast Suns go on their way. They're 6-5-41 lead. Carlton 1-2-8. The Tigers have kicked a couple. They're 4 points up on the Kangas. They get the ball from the stoppage here through Pearce, but he might have kicked it out of bounds, and he has. It'll be a free kick on the outer wing, and it's being taken by Donnelly. Ben Donnelly. Starting to get dark. That sun's quickly disappeared. Off hands. Trying to get the ball into the Tigers, but they've pressured out of bounds. Still an arm wrestle. Really interesting contest. Not so much at Lauderdale because they're 40-1 up against Glenorchy. North Hobart 16 up on the Blues. So it's a big game, as Foz mentioned. Here coming through the pack of the Kingborough Tigers. Out of bounds. No, through for a behind. Just inside the post. So the Tigers 2-2-14, first score of the second quarter. Listen to City Park Radio Sport 103.7, 96.5, or viewing us on the live stream. Thanks for joining. Here's the captain, Dave Moore.
Connor Young, beautiful long kick out. Out towards Donnelly, who's up against Pearce. Pearce lays the tackle. It's out of bounds. So it's just the one behind this quarter. 2 goals apiece so far in 1 quarter and 7 minutes. So not a high-scoring game, high-pressure game. Boundary throw-in. Tompkinson and Lee go at it. Lee wins the tap, falls back to Lee. Swings round the corner, finds Ives on the chest. 2 kicks out from goal. Plays on immediately. Out here looking for Oliver Dean, who's up against the couple. Godomski gets there first. Sees the ball over the boundary line.
That's one of the amazing things about Alex Lee, isn't it? I mean, one of the leading ruckmen in the competition, but also
leading the clearances.
Leading the clearances. As soon as it hits the deck, he's right onto it.
So boundary throw-in. Opportunity here for North Launceston. Nice high boundary throw-in. Tompkinson and Ives, neither of them touch the ball. Will Clifford's in there, taken here by Avent. Back to Ives, impossible shot on the boundary line. Falls in the goal square. Taken by Donnelly, plays on straight away. Finds Joey Brower. Brower in the long sleeves, he plays on, puts himself under pressure. Kick goes close to the boundary line and sails over. Free kick North Launceston, right in front of the interchange area. This ball just has to be retrieved from behind the interchange sheds. So come back to Blade Sulzberger. Macca, who's having a great season.
He is. He's really developed into that player that we knew he could be at the junior level. And getting a lot of the footy. He's always worked hard. He just hasn't been able to find the footy, whereas this year he's really upped his stoppage work and getting contested possessions. Inside 50, Pearce. It's tough there for those forwards for North Launceston. Plenty of numbers back for the Tigers. Ball flicks out by hand. Here's the youngster in man, Shandon, but he kicks it miles into the top level nearly. Out of bounds. It's as far out of bounds as you'll see a ball. And he was good pressure put on there by Jake Williams.
He was almost over the fence when he kicked it.
He was.
Jeremy Cameron-like.
Fuzzle. Controversial. Tigers have kicked away 52-36. That's the Richmond Tigers. Led by the Tasmanian Jack Rewalt. Final game. What a career.
Whoa.
Oh, they've spilt the mark. They should have taken Lockie Clifford. He tries to butter up, but he handballs it to Avent, but really well done by the ruckman there, by Kingborough, and they're away. James Webb liked his game so far. Just always creative. Stepping out of bounds was Will Campbell. I was trying to say that it was great work. Jack Tompkinson, back off half back. The big fella was under pressure, put the pressure on him and did well enough to get the handball out. So it's the other point of the square now. Kingborough end. Gardner up against Lee. Chug. That one was nearly out of bounds as well. That one is out of bounds as they handballed it along the boundary line. And Avent can't get away with it and gives it back to the umpire.
It's just end-to-end stuff, isn't it, really, with neither side grabbing the opportunity when they get it.
No, well, they can't get off their opponents at the moment. All defenders are one-on-one. No extras back behind the footy. And it's just one-on-one footy, and the kicks just can't see the get the mark because they can't get off their opponents, Rob.
Yeah. It's that real arm wrestle stuff we've talked about all day, which again you'd expect between the two best sides. So just waiting for someone to try and break it open.
Underway down at Oatlands, where Tribunna lead by 2 points. Here's the Tigers. Inside 50, Jake Williams. Who can set? No one on this occasion. Coming down the front is O'Neill. He snapped one in the first, but that's snapped out of bounds. More pressure. And that's what the key word is today, and Fletcher Bennett will take the kick.
Just the 2 points the difference. It's 3 points at quarter time. Short kick now to Bales, deep in defence. Over towards Hubbard, gets it on the bounce, has to play on, spills the ball. Oh, gee, they didn't take it with him there with Sulzberger. Now it comes to Simpson. They're under pressure. Bales does well. Gets around the tackle of Carter. Kicks up the wing. Oh, almost a nice mark there to Griggs. Didn't quite hang on long enough. Now it spills out here to Gibson. Has support from Avent. Gets around Williams in it with ease. Now has to throw it on the boot. Oliver Dean leads out. Can't quite take it. Is he held without it? Umpire says yes. Blake McCulloch holding the young man there in Oliver Dean. When he didn't have possession of the ball, they tried to play on there through Leary, but it's going to come back.
I like North Launceston coaching staff. We mentioned it before. Just the height just causes trouble. Another target for them.
Gives it off to Avent, who's under pressure with the kick. Consequentially, it goes high towards the goal line. Oh, is that off the ground? Is that a goal?
No.
I'm not so sure now.
It's hit the umpire who's standing in front of the goal.
I think he hit the umpire in the leg there. It was Mitchell who kicked it off the ground.
But the umpire was in front of the goal, Foz.
Cox Goodyear wants a goal. And now the umpire agrees with Macca that it's one behind.
Well, the umpire was standing in front of the post, like backed up like they do. I always wonder why they need to be so close to the line, Rob. Can't they just line up in line and be behind?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Macca.
I don't know.
Comes out to Godomski.
It's hard, especially without the video replay here in the TSL.
Godomski gets it to Will Clifford.
VAR.
Got the best in the business.
Eddie
on
Cole.
The camera today. Sorry, Foz.
Yes.
Give Josh Goodyear a
We haven't given it to him yet. No, he hasn't.
Ben Donaldson would be disappointed I said that, but
I got in
good
trouble
today.
for saying that, so I'm staying quiet. Here comes Mitch Nicholas. Tries to find an outlet, takes a bounce. Handballs to a play under pressure, and Simpson coughs it up. Man, Shannon can't pick it up. Gee, the pressure is intense. Now back to Nicholas. He doesn't keep it in. It'll be a bounty throw in, left half forward. Been playing 13 minutes. It's North Launceston 2-5-17. The Tigers 2-2-14.
Donaldson, Goodyear, Ablett, Judd. I mean, you know, pick the best. It's tough, isn't it? It's tough.
Tough day. Avent circles. Foz takes another sip of his water. Getting that husky voice going. A little sniffle even. He had the day on the couch yesterday, the poor fella, just to get up for today. Didn't worry, Greaves. We covered all his classes for him, didn't we? Hey?
On the IV was the word I heard.
On the IV,
that's what I heard.
just to get up. He went to netball this morning. Captain Courageous Dave Moore. Unbelievable. Boundary throw in. Chug. Head over the footy.
Free kick.
He's going to be a free kick. Made the umpire see it. There's no doubt about that. Young Declan Chug. So Chug takes those yards again on the mark. Up and under kick. Oliver Dean sats the big fella. Got the hands to it. Tackled. Got to be holding the ball. Umpire says play on. Here's Leaf Lang behind the footy. He's going to step inside. 1, 2. Can't get it. Tiger supporters aren't happy. Chug inside 50. Oliver Dean sets again. Trying to take the mark is Donnelly. The heat's on. Donnelly does well. Taps it on. Carter over the top now. Sorry, that was Gardner. And they relieve for the moment. It's another free kick. It's going to come back. Is it going to... No, it's going Tigers' way.
O'Neill.
It's going to be a free kick to O'Neill, who's been lively. Couple of shots at goal. Gives it to Clifford on the way past. It flicks to the other end of the ground now. Still not being able to take the mark. Off the ground is Max College. And it goes out of bounds right forward pocket. Well, the ball moves from one end to the other very quickly, Rob.
And as you talked about that one-on-one stuff, the pressure's just still terrific. So you just get the feeling it's like a game of attrition. It's just who's gonna bow first and let the other side get on top.
Terrific tackle there from Jake Williams back in the middle of the ground too. Out now to Bales, who shrugs a tackle. Now kicks high up the wing. Gardner's there with Dean. Spills to Dean. Can't get rid of it. Spits out of the side of the contest. Cole with a knock on to Lockie Clifford. Spills back now to Simpson. To Cox Goodyear, who gets caught, releases the ball. Lockie Clifford dives in again. And it'll be a ball up centre wing. So high pressure second quarter. Won't be a long quarter. We've been playing 16 minutes. One behind apiece.
You'd imagine things are going to have to break open at some stage with the effort that is taken up by tackling and chasing.
Off the ground. Now out to Griggs, who's sweeping out the back of the contest. He's tackled though. And Avent emerges with the ball. Another ball up.
Round the grounds. Triabunna kick away by 15 points in the Odfa. North Hobart by 4 points over Launceston, who come back. Glenorchy have kicked a couple. They're 30 up. The Tigers are over on Richmond. They're away. They're 23 up. And the Suns still lead by 34.
James Webb kicks half forward. Coming out to meet it is Zeitzen. Round the corner. Who's going to come out and meet the ball? Tompkinson was in there. George O'Neill with the snap. He can't kick his second. One behind. Misses to the left. And the Tigers moved within 2 points. 2-3-15. Trying North Launceston 2-5-17.
He seems the most likely at the moment, O'Neill, having lots of snaps on goal. We get the marks inside 50 for the whole day. I don't feel like anyone's been able to mark the ball.
3 the whole day. None this quarter.
Not many contested of those 3, I wouldn't imagine. They come now, though. Let's see if they can hit up. That's better. And they do. They hit up and find Tompkinson. Eddie Cole finds him. So I think that's probably what each team has to do, is hit up their forwards, because the long kick in With everyone playing one-on-one footy, Rob, it's just massive packs.
Yeah, it is. And there's a real size mismatch there too. The big fella's dropped forward. He's playing on Leaflang, who very athletic, likes to run off. So could be the answer, Macca, as you've said, to break this game wide open.
So Tompkinson, he's kicked 31 goals for the year as the big fella in Tompkinson. Deliberate approach beyond the 50 in front of the scoreboard. He leans back. The umpire doesn't move because it's on the other side of the post. Through for a point. Tigers 2-4-16, trail North Launceston 2-5-17.
Nicholas out from fullback to Hubbard in the back pocket. Handball over the top to Bennett, who'll be under pressure from Golding. He gets the handball over to Mitchell. Back to Hubbard, to Bennett, all by hand. They're under pressure. He's an outlet now through Manchandon. He puts himself under pressure. Leary is tackled by about 3 players. He coughs it up. Turnover. James Webb weaves around. Poor kick inside 50. Might work out all right. Although Bales will get there first. Up against Carter. Spills now to Chugg. Just shrugs Carter away. Who tried to tackle him half-heartedly. And now clears it to Pearce. Pearce waits for some reinforcements. Then he kicks up the wing to Ives, who presents Mark centre wing. Cruising past is Sulzberger. In fact, it's Dom Pitt, I think it is. Gets it back now to Ives. Kicks quickly inside 50. Leary is there. Meets it on the bounce. He gets it on the second occasion. Can't pick it up. Now he does. Gets corralled. Back now to Pitt, who's up. Offloaded as he kicks it towards half forward. And that's a nice mark to Griggs, although there's a shepherding free kick. It's going to come back to North Launceston.
Alec Lee.
Yep.
Alex Lee. I tell you what, I've liked the pressure of Reardon off the ball. He's laid a couple of big tackles.
Alex Lee, man of the marks, just inside the 50.
He's standing Leary there at the moment.
Probably the only one that can keep up with him.
Moves around as Lee kicks. It's going to fall short. Plenty of Tigers defenders there. And mark's taken by Golding in front.
Golding in defensive goal square. It's a nice contested mark. Comes out, one-on-one footy. Oh, it's a good mark. James Zeitson. Zeitson looks busy. It's all one-on-one in front. It's another contested mark. So plenty of marks. Really good one on that occasion from Lachlan Sulzberger. So all these medium-tall forwards coming off really well there was Bennett. He read the ball well. Not such a great handball, though. Gave it to Nicholas, who was good enough to get it to Chugg. Chugg, there's that contest between Reardon and Leary. Reardon, another good tackle from him. Comes out, this time through Golding. Play on, it's fast footy. Oh, pressure on, well done there by Griffiths. Harvey Griffiths put pressure on. Something's got to give here in a moment because these players are going to be absolutely stuffed. Inside 50, Theo Ives, look up, hit, good.
Lee.
The boys have spotted something.
We need the Prince to get onto this one.
Bailey Mitchell has taken the mark right on 50. Lee's hobbling off with what looks to be an ankle.
Prince will be on that.
All of a sudden playing Ollie Dean looks like a pretty good option. Geez, that was fast contested football, wasn't it? It was up and down. And they managed to find Bailey Mitchell. Breaks the 50 towards the city end of the ground. It starts left, stays left. And it's 2-6-18 versus the Tigers 2-4-16.
No goals in this second quarter.
No, it's a tough contest.
As Elijah Reardon now cruises out of the defensive goal square. Kicks up the wing. It's going to spill out of bounds here. We've got Alec Croswell on the boundary. What do you got for us, Alec?
Yeah, g'day, Dave. As you saw, Alex Lee coming off there with a very sore ankle. Just heard him say that he got twisted and sort of went round on him a bit, so I'll keep an eye on that one. But in a little bit of pain down here at the moment, so I'll get back to you and have a bit more info.
Thanks, Alec. Macca, you spotted something there before?
Launceston have hit the lead, 32-31 against North Hobart. It's a good fight back there. Lauderdale still doing it easily. And Tri Bunner have kicked away against Campbelltown.
From the boundary throw-in taken by Pitt. He's tackled hard there by Lockie Clifford.
Some very famous northern names in that Campbelltown side too, I did see, Macca.
Yeah, a few of the old Longford boys are there. Who did you notice?
Oh, I saw those Longford boys that you're talking about.
Chuggs, guard.
Yes.
Now Manchandon weaves around through traffic, does it brilliantly. Now there's a whistle on play, too far. Oh,
someone didn't agree either.
No, someone in the crowd there wasn't real happy with that. So it's going to be a free kick to Lockie Clifford.
15 metres around in circles.
He's got a player free in the middle. I think that's Golding. Yes, it is. Edward Golding plays on. Low kick towards half forward, looking for Williams. Ex-Northerner, Jake Williams picks it up. He's under pressure. Does pretty well, though. Gets it to Will Clifford, who throws on the boot, looking for Carter. But good defence now. We've got a whistle. It's going to go North Launceston's way in that marking contest. It's going to come back to Ethan Hubbard. He plays on straight away. Plenty of options. One of those is Connor Young, who marks deep in defence.
Connor Young, we mentioned, back in the back line. Here's another contest. Sulzberg has got to go, and he does. It was good pressure from Bauer. Chuck, busy, good tackle on. Oh, there's a few afters on Sulzberger and also Clifford. They're not liking each other on ball. And it's so intense, though, isn't it? So intense. Something's got to give. This might be it. Just waiting for that 1 or 2 turning points in the game. Is it going to be a miraculous goal, big mark, 50-metre penalty? Going to be down the field? Something's got to give here. 23 and a half minutes gone. Might have to wait till the third quarter. No goals this quarter. You'd imagine not long left. Here's Pearce. Loves these sort of days, does Nathan Pearce. Avent is thrown as he handballs it. Pitt. It's going to be turned over. Another free kick. The umpires are blowing the whistle lots today. It's going to be another free kick. And this time it's going to go to Kingborough. And it's going to be a free kick to Eddie Cole.
17 free kicks this quarter.
Yeah, it's quite a few, Dave. Cole finds Zeitson on the outside. Swings inboard. Who's there? Gardner can't take it. Carter. Here's O'Neill again. Busy. Took them on. Griffiths finds himself in the back line. They turn and go to the Northern Bombers, and it's out through Mitchie Nicholas.
Half-time, Lilydale 49 leads St Pat's 20. Thanks to Scott Flynn for those scores. Out now to Mitchell on the wing. They get a break here to North Launceston. That's Ives up against Donnelly. Ives does pretty well to get it to Leary. Back to Ives. Somehow they kept possession there. And we're going to holding the ball or a throw there, I think, against Leary. Incorrect disposal. It's going to come back to Will Clifford. He's been pretty good across half-back. Chip kick here, looking for Webb. He'll be under pressure, but takes a strong mark. The ex-Glenorchy player, James Webb, as Mac has said, been a really good inclusion this year as a midfielder. Lead-up play here from College. Good spoil from Young. Campbell gets it back to College. Now inside 50. Zeitzen was there, clears him. Coming out now is Leaflang with purpose. Little handball to space. Sulzberger taps it back towards Leaflang. His tackle might have been without it. Yes, he was, or high, says the umpire. So good hustling there from Connor Leaflang. Short kick looking for Mansell. He couldn't take the mark. Fell on top of his opponent. Back to Griggs, who's tackled by Cox Goodger. That is a great tackle, Bradley.
I was about to say, I think Cox Goodger, as hard as he's working in the midfield, I'd like to see him forward in the second half. I reckon he could burst it open.
And he's a beautiful switching kick now to Connor Young at halfback.
Connor Young, he goes laterally. Declan Chugg, who covers the yards. He's got Pearce on if he can get it over. He does now, but he's run really wide due to the delay. Still on there is Ethan Hubbard. He goes. He can't get it there. And the Tigers just look a little bit more composed, but the youth of North Launceston, they're doing all they can. Another inside 50. It's a spiral. Setting. It's going to be a push. I thought it was. It looked it. I didn't get excited with the mark. It's a push against Mansell. And they're going to come away through Godomski and now Tompkinson.
Tompkinson, handball sideways to Lockie Clifford. 9 minutes of the second quarter, might be a long quarter. No goals kicked. Can someone score in the dying seconds here? McCulloch, little handball now to Clifford. Beautiful kick from Lockie Clifford. The veteran finds Brereton. Brereton now towards Jake Williams. Jake Williams, one-on-one. Campbell and Bennett. Clears Campbell, he might pick it up. Bennett did brilliantly. Got it to Leary, Young, who's back in defence. Now to Bales. Terrific handball to Simpson, who's under pressure though. He does it well, get back to Bennett. Great possession footy by North Launceston's back line. Now to Nicholas, who has a man all by himself here in Griffiths. They turn defence into attack here to North Launceston. Oh, Mitchell received a bit of close checking there, I have to say, from Elijah Reardon. No 50. Mitchell switches it. Over to Dominic Pitt. He's got plenty of time to sum it up. Takes a bounce, the youngster. Inside 50. Leary's there. Over the back, it's Oscar Mansell.
Read that well.
Read it beautifully.
Read that really well. I watched him put the hand up and didn't lead, and he just stayed. He didn't even move. And the ball just got over the back to him.
Mansell, who's going to be shooting from just inside 50. Seen him kick some good goals this year from set shots. And this is huge in the context of this game. In a very low-scoring second quarter, a chance to put the Bombers out by 8 points. Oscar Mansell, close to the man on the mark, kicks it high. Has it got the distance? I think it has. No, umpire was right there. He says it's a behind. So, 2-7-19 North Launceston Tigers, 2-4-16. 3 binds apiece in the second quarter. Macca, take us to halftime.
Oliver Dean up in front from the kick out. Finds man Shandon. Dean, he's got to go. The big fella, he does well. Finds Pearce. They get another chance to the Bombers. Pearce tries to go for goal, but it's always near side. I'll tell you what, you talk about pressure. That young goal umpire down there, she's been under pressure today. That kick looked really close to being across the line.
It did.
Alec, you got something for us on the boundary there?
Yeah, Dave, just to let you know that Alex Lee's actually had his ankle re-strapped, a little bit of spray and he's back on, so it's only a tweak and he looks to be moving pretty well.
Cheers, Alec.
Ooh.
Reardon with a massive torpedo to the wing. Put that on the highlights reel. He's found a teammate in Zeitzen. That's gone all of 70 metres. Kicks half 40, looking for Campbell. Gets it on the bounce. Support from O'Neill. He has to backtrack. And beautiful smother there from Young. O'Neill runs into the tackle. He'll get high contact. And it's quarter time. A little bit of a powder keg here. But the players get up and do the sensible thing and separate. Now, George O'Neill, I think he's going to have a crack at goal here from 70 metres out. Elijah Reardon might be a chance, but George O'Neill isn't. That's half-time here at UTAS Stadium. It's the Northern Bombers, 2 goals, 8-20. They kick 4 behinds in that quarter. The Tigers are 2-4-16. They kicked 3 behinds in that quarter. Rob, you haven't had much chance to say much in that quarter because not many goals were kicked, but what are your thoughts?
I did dive into the memory bank and used the internet because when we were talking about the pressure and the nature of the game, it reminded me back, if you guys would remember back to the 2021 Grand Final, Northern Bombers and Launceston. First 3 quarters was very reminiscent of what we saw there before Launceston broke it open when Brad Cox-Goodger went off injured. But just that, you know, arc to arc, the pressure around the footy's been fantastic. So if you were sitting at home watching thinking you wanted to see a goal fest, you've come to the wrong game. But if you want to see a tough, hard, fierce game of footy between the 2 top sides, you tuned into the right channel, aren't you, Dave?
Absolutely. Macca, the goal kickers.
The goal kickers, the same as quarter time. Declan Chugg 1, Oliver Dean 1, George O'Neill 1 for the Tigers, and Tyler Carter the other for the Tigers.
Dave Gruber's stats, hit-outs to half-time. Kingborough 15 to North Launceston 19. Clearances 20 to North Launceston, Kingborough 9. So, gee, they're on top there around the ball, the likes of Simpson, Avend, etc. Inside 50s, pretty even there. 25 to Kingborough, 24 to North Launceston. Marks inside 53 apiece. Free kicks 22 to North Launceston, 20 to Kingborough. Intercept marks 7 to Kingborough, 5 to North Launceston. Mackie, you've got a thought there?
No, I was just going to give you the
let's go around the
grounds.
Don't give North Hobart because we're going to get to our correspondent Andrew Cooling there in a moment. So we'll leave that one. Teaser.
Lauderdale by 26 down there. It's a Triabunna by 24 over Campbelltown in the Odfa. Richmond Tigers are up by 22 at half time, much to the pleasure of Rob Soward. And Carlton have just come back a little bit with a couple of late goals, and it's the Gold Coast Suns by 20.
Half-time here at UTAS Stadium. It's North Launceston 2-8-20, the Tigers 2-4-16. When we come back, we'll have a chat to Andrew Cooling, who's at North Hobart Oval.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio. Is inflation eroding your nest egg? Income Direct can help. We assist Australian seniors and retirees to keep ahead of inflation with fixed income accounts. Our team is Australia-based. Our clients love our competitive interest rates and there are no fees. Conditions and risks apply. We encourage you to seek independent financial and legal advice before choosing Income Direct. Visit incomedirect.com.au or call 1300 798 334 to speak to one of our team members about how you can put your capital to work today. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Barrett's Music is proud to support music in Tasmania in many forms. In fact, we've been supporting music in our community for decades. We value music participation in Tassie, so we can help you get started with expert advice on hand. With a wide range of instruments in stock, plus great learning resources and interest-free purchase plans, we can help you discover the music in you. Call into Barrett's at 104 George Street, Launceston, or phone 6331 9355. Barrett's Music, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Close contest here at halftime at UTAS Stadium. North Launceston 2-8-20, leading the Tigers 2-4-16. And at Lauderdale, it's the Southern Bombers 51, leading the Magpies 25. The third game in the TSL today is another pretty close one. And calling the stream down there for AFL Tas is Mr. Andrew Cooling. G'day, Drew. How's it going down there at North Hobart? Have I got you there, Andrew?
Seems to have disappeared.
Okay. There it is. Well,
such is the suspense we're keeping our
audience. We are. We haven't given the score yet, but we'll might try again there in about a minute or two and see how we go. Macca, actually, we might have Andrew back now, have we? You there? No, not there at the moment. So we'll try again in a little while. Macca, have you seen? Obviously, we talk about the midfield battles there, the clearances at North Launceston's way. Have you seen that match up?
Look, it's been. Fairly even, to be honest. Like, I think both midfields have had pressure put on them at different times and really haven't, I wouldn't say they've dominated the game either way. The game's very much been played between the arcs, as they say. Every inside 50 kick, apart from the one hit-up I remember to Tompkinson, every other kick's been long and deep. We saw Mansell take one good mark, which was really at the back of the pack. It was still a big pack hit-out. Both teams find enough space coming out of the back line, but then each team clogs the space up really well as they get the ball to the other side of the ground. So both teams, to be able to do that, Rob Soward, both teams got to be pretty fit because they're moving across the ground to block the space as they go.
They are, and people I think do forget how big this ground is as well. So, to me, I think that that's where the Bombers probably are the fitter side. But, time will tell. But as you've said, Macca, it's just between the arcs, pressure footy. Just I
really like the Tigers, just those medium. They've got a lot of medium, mid sort of half-backs, half-forwards. They all look very similar. They're all very good size.
Okay.
And it's just going to be where the North Launceston's pace and skill can get them over the line there. Because at the moment, they're not having much option forward.
Okay, I think we've got Andrew now back online there at North Hobart Oval. Andrew Cooling. It's a pretty close contest there at half-time.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dave. Yes, it's a real arm wrestle of a battle down here at North Hobart. Launceston 5-3-33 leading North Hobart 4-7-31. But it's been a really tight game throughout, lots of stoppages and a really physical battle so far through the first two quarters.
And some major goal kickers, mate, who's been impressive around the sticks to half-time.
Dylan Riley's been the one kind of doing the damage for Launceston. He has 3 of the 5. Mitch Thorpe got another height, kicked the first goal of the game. But it's been a strange one. Launceston, probably in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the second quarter, really started to get a bit of a run on, started to get on top of the game. But I'd say probably the first quarter and a half was largely dominated by North Hobart. It was a little surprising. Winning the midfield battle, Launceston really started to right the ship, and Dylan Riley was the one. He just looks like he's going to mark everything. He and Thorpe are looking quite imposing and strong down there, and probably looming as the match winners at this stage. I think a spread of goal kickers for the Demons, all individuals.
And Mitch Thorpe, has he played deep forward, Andrew, or has he played up the ground a bit as well?
He's largely been deep forward, probably pushed up a little earlier. It was largely due just to kind of game script. North Hobart kind of had 15 minutes there where it barely left their forward 50. So he's pushing up, trying to get involved. Ended up setting up a goal by doing that. And the goal he kicked was pushing up kind of towards the 50 arc. But no, he's largely been pretty deep. He and Riley kind of alternating. Deep as the match has worn on, they started winning the midfield battle. But when it was North Hobart early on, as tends to happen, the big keys go pushing up, searching for a bit of the ball.
And it's a pretty important game for both teams, Andrew. I'd imagine it'll be a pretty high-pressure atmosphere. Launceston can pretty much sew up their finals position, but a win for the Demons today just gives them a little bit of a sniff.
Yeah, they're certainly playing like a team who still believe they can pull off the improbable. Obviously a massive one. Also, I would have thought heading into it for Launceston in particular, trying to get that third place in that Week 1 home final, which could be so crucial. And yeah, you probably would have thought North Hobart were the more motivated team if you just watched the first quarter and a bit. They were the side that came out with a bit more pop, a bit more jump, but Launceston, experienced head, starting to get on top. But you can tell it as an important game, and it definitely means a lot to both sets of players because there's been a lot of scrapping off the ball, lots of jumper punches, scraps. It's been a really physical, bruising kind of a contest. Lots of scraps nearly every time there's a stoppage. And the first quarter had a lot of them. It was ball up after ball up after ball up. You take the possession of the ball, you've immediately got two people on you. The intensity around the ball has been really first rate if the foot skills have been a little lacking at times.
Now, mate, I know your other passion is, other than TSL footy, of course, is the round ball game, the beautiful game, football. What do you think tonight, Matildas versus Sweden? What's your prediction?
I think we'll win that one and take the bronze in front of the home crowd. It's kind of tough to tell with third-place players. I'm never quite sure whether it's going to be full-strength 11s or whether they're going to rotate and give some players who haven't had minutes at the tournament an opportunity. I think it'll be probably in contrast to our last two, which were quite defensive games, England and France. I think it'll be a bit more open, both teams looking to attack. But I'll say the Tillies 3-2 and finish on a high.
Fantastic. And my co-commentator Rob's got a question. What do you got, Rob?
Well, just an observation on g'day, Andrew. The Matildas are named as being full strength, other than the defender they missed the other night. So,
Alana Kennedy.
Promising signs ahead for the Tillies, hopefully.
Yeah, I think probably we want home soil. That's probably a bit more motivation to finish third than you might have otherwise. So, yeah, good to hear. Kennedy's obviously a massive hole at the back, but full strength, glad to see it. Should be a nice way to see how well them after a pretty phenomenal effort over the last month.
Now, mate, I know your game's a bit ahead of us, so I better let you go and get ready to call the second half. What's that half-time score once again?
Yeah, the umpires have just got out in the middle. I'm going to have to jump on here in a sec. But half-time, Launceston 5-3-33, leading North Hobart 4-7-31.
Andrew, it's great to have you on City Park Radio once again, and thanks for bringing us that report at half-time.
Well, it's a pleasure, boys. Have a good call in the second half.
Thank you there to Andrew calling the game this afternoon for AFL Tasmania. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll set the scene for the second half.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Go online, www.elgas.com.au.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Mr. Lotto here. If you need Lotto, we're open. If you need post, we're open. If you need magazines, we're open. In fact, we're open for everything, pretty much all the bleeding time. And weekends. Good, innit? So, what are you waiting for? Come on in. Invermain News Agency. Serving you when you need us most. Cherry Pie.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
We know how busy you are in the community. It's meant sometimes you miss out on us, your community radio station. Now you don't have to. With Community Radio Plus, catch the latest news updates, listen to podcasts, join us live with the Community Radio Plus app.
Community radio is listener-supported radio. We're City Park Radio.
Whatever you're doing, take us with you. Community Radio Plus, your home of community radio. Download from the App Store or Google Play.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You at City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5. Thanks to our sponsors, Elgas. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. And earlier today in the under 18s here at UTAS Stadium, it was a good win of the Tigers by just 2 points. They won 8-10-58 to North Launceston 9-2-56. In the D-League, it was North Launceston 13-15-93, defeating Kingborough 4-7-31. Mackie, got some around the grounds there. You've got a few things to tell us.
Yes. Yep.
Go for it.
So, where are we? Campania? No, where were we watching down there?
At Oatlands.
Oatlands?
Yeah.
At Oatlands. Campbelltown Trail by 29 points. So,
that last quarter?
There. Yeah, just started the last quarter, Tribunna. And also Carlton have made a massive comeback. So the Prince is back up and about downstairs. 7-5-47 Carlton. Trail Gold Coast Suns 7-7-49 at half-time. You'd hate to think if there's a breeze there, but gee whiz, it's been like 7-goal quarters both ways, really. Richmond lead by 22. It's Lauderdale by plenty at half-time against Glenorchy. And geez, what a contest down there. North Hobart have kicked the first goal. And that's just a massive clash, as we mentioned, Launceston.
So just looking at the ladder there, if North Hobart were to get over the line there today...
Launceston got Lauderdale next week.
Yes.
That we've got.
You'd think they'd win that, but, Lauderdale, we know we've got some talent, some top-end talent in that team.
Oh, they do, and if they get some confidence today against Glenorchy. Did you see those possessions and stats last week of Christensen and also Siggins?
Siggins, yep.
Siggins had like 37 contested possessions in 40-odd possessions. He had 43 or something. He had 25 clearances, 200 and something ranking points against Alex Lee.
Yes.
They said that Alex Lee, really did get defeated last week for one of the very few times in his career. And they still got beat by 10 goals, Lauderdale.
Yeah.
So Christensen gets 40-odd, Siggins gets 40-odd, and they lose by 10 in the last quarter. And but Siggins was unbelievable, the amount of possessions and clearances he had. Like Dave Gruber's pen would have been going crazy if he was counting those. Umpires are back on the ground here. Rob, what do you see? Like we're waiting for this game to break open. 2-8-20 North Launceston Tigers 2-4-16. Is it just a matter of someone being able to take a grab? Is it the midfield getting some clear space, being able to connect with their forwards? What do you see?
I think the big thing is we're looking for one of the midfields to get on top. I mean, early on it was probably more hands-on to Kingborough. Bombers worked their way back into it. The ruckmen sort of have nullified each other a little bit. We haven't had the dominant ruckman on the ground. So I guess for me, Macca, some control out of the centre square, giving the forwards first look at it. We've seen some glimpses from young Ollie Dean, took a nice mark, kicked a nice goal, but again, then the defence got back on top. So,
can you see, we tipped North Launceston before the game. Are you still going to stick with that, or do you think the Tigers, with their experience maybe and strength, might get over the top? I'm sort of weighing a little bit Tigers' way, and I don't know why, but I just think if they can connect with those forwards, they seem to be getting the ball in there enough. But then you've got the pace and the liveliness and the run of North Launceston, so really hard to pick from here.
It is. I'm sticking with the Bombers, and I guess for me, when you say what can happen,
yep,
2 words I'd say is Brandon Leary. We haven't seen a lot of him, and you called it beautifully earlier where he had an opportunity, had more time than he thought. And if you were going to have a knock on Brandon Leary, who's one of the favourites of the City Park Radio team, as we know, if you had a knock on him, is sometimes he just doesn't take that extra bit of time, does he?
Yeah, he rushes things. It'd be interesting to see. I don't know which team will do it. North Launceston, I'd like to see him maybe clear the forward line out more, because at the moment they've got 5 forwards and they're all got their opponent on them. So there's 10 sitting in there, plus someone dropping back. If they could clear out the forward line and maybe use a Cox Goodger or use a Leary and just clear it out, a bit more space. Because at the moment, for both sides, you look at the other end, Fletcher Bennett keeps getting back. Connor Young's had a great first half back against the Tigers forwards. There's no space for either forward line. So do they try and clear both forward lines out, get over the top maybe? Who knows? Good to see Alex Lees ran out in the front there. He seems okay. Fuzzle? Have I just taken the Prince's thunder?
No, we'll get down to him now. He's been down, I think, to the North Launceston rooms. Alec, what do you got for us?
Yeah, that's right, Dave. I was down in the North Rooms. I could not get in the inner sanctum, but...
Not even you.
No, I know. I tried to use my presence and get in there, but got the door slammed in the face. So, but assistant coach Brenton Gale was talking to the forwards. He really wants them to lock the ball inside 50. and have a real focus of really upping the forward pressure and making the most of every opportunity going in. So obviously goals are hard to come by, but he's really put it on his small forwards to get to work and try and create a few chances in there.
And Alex Lee, you mentioned in the second quarter he's gone back on. He seems to be moving okay?
Yeah, he's got the all clear. So I think it was just a tweak of the ankle. He's had it re-strapped, had a bit of a spray, and he looks to be moving well. So I've been given the all clear from the North Launceston first aid staff.
And, mate, the breeze down there, you said it was blowing towards the other side of the ground where you are at the moment. How do you gauge it down there?
Yeah, I think it's actually dropped a little bit, Foz, to be honest with you. So it is pushing sort of more across the ground towards the Bed and Lomond side, I'm going to call it.
Yes, good.
Which is most of the players been over there today. But it's pretty much non-existent out in the middle. So I don't think it'll favour either team this quarter.
And, Alec, we've had many of our listeners and long-time listeners. They know that you're on air today. They're all asking the big question for today. Who won the toss?
No
one knows.
Was won by Kingborough. And
there
just
you go.
To look after myself a little bit there, I was about to watch it, and then Foz called me, and I turned around as instructed, and I missed it.
He's throwing you under a bus.
Also called you the wrong name, which wasn't a great start.
Yeah, not a great start. I think we've recovered from there, though.
We've done well.
Just like Carlton, mate, we're on the comeback trail.
Good news, you're on the comeback trail. He's doing well, I tell you.
He's doing a great job, Mark Carswell, down there for us today, isn't he? Alec Croswell, Mark Carswell, he's killing it.
Alan O'Sign. Get Alan O'Sign on down there. Get something from the run of the ever experience.
If you like, boys.
Alan O'Sign. Tell us how they're going to win the game from here, because it's tight.
Alan, the boys upstairs just want to know how they're going to win the game from here.
Oh, look, it's a very tight contest. I think North Lonnie's run and skill execution is going to put them in a good position to take the game out. If they can lock it in their forward half and give their forwards repeat looks, I think they're a big show. So, it's been a cracking game.
Very cracking game. Thank you, Alan O'Sign, club legend.
225 game veteran, just up on the board there on the North Launceston honour board. Alan O'Sign, great job,
Beautiful. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Alec.
Look at that. The insight that Alec Croswell gets us today is next level.
Okay, half-time, it's 2-8-20, North Launceston Tigers 2-4-16. Players are breaking up now and going to their respective positions. Big third quarter coming up.
Launceston lead by 4 points, keeping a very close eye on that contest. Tribunus still leading by 17, and Lauderdale 51-25 up over Glenorchy.
And half-time over here at Infirmay Park, it was Lilydale 7-7-49 leading St Pat's 2-8-20. And earlier on, Old Scotch won the reserves there. If the Division 1, what's that, the first qualified final,
Tell you what, Bruiser wouldn't like to be sending those texts to you if the St Pat's old boys are behind.
No, that's for sure.
So we're going to get underway here. Top of the ladder clash. Kingborough 14-2, game up their sleeve. Got one extra game over North Launceston with 13-2. You can hardly split them on the stats that was mentioned this week in the media. All stats, apart from maybe handballs, which North Launceston have more of, rest of the stats were all very, very close. And I tell you what, the scoreboard just backs that up even more. It's North Launceston by 4 points. We're just waiting for a couple of gates to shut here. The umpires are doing a bit of extra work. And we're going to get underway. Umpire raises the ball. There's the siren for the second half. Let's see what can happen. Alex Lee back in the ruck against Tompkinson. The two premier ruckmen in the competition. It's Lee, gets it down, forwards, looking for Pearce. Simpson, done the hard work today. He's pushed his opponent in the back, though, on this occasion. And it's going to be a free kick to Eddie Cole. Here's Reardon off half-back. Started there this quarter. Finds Tompkinson. Hit up lead. Let's see if they can find some more space. He gives the handball on the way past. Not a great kick, Lockie Clifford. Turnover. But it comes back to Marcus Gardner. By hand. Here's Pearce. He goes off the ground. Matilda style. Lee tried to get the free kick. Umpire didn't agree. Leaflang. Oh, he ran under it. Did Connor Leaflang. It bounced off his chest. Declan Chug butters up though. And he's going to come out. Geez, he ran a long way. Wasn't a great kick because it just goes straight down Lockie Griggs' throat. So Griggs, let's see who's got the temperament and hit up. Good mark.
Beautiful kick.
Lovely kick for Griggs. And it's coming up. Is it... Who's got it, Fozzle?
Is it Max College? Yes, it is.
College. So Max College.
He was the only person that could mark that. That kick was just pinpoint.
Chug did everything so well apart from having someone to kick to. But Leaflang was the one that put him under pressure. The ball bounced off his chest. He ran under it terribly. And now it's going to be Max College. He's kicked 32 for the year. He's tucked away in the right forward pocket, in front of the main stand here at UTAS. It looks good off the boot. It's underway. It's a good goal. Really good support here for the Kingborough Tigers as well. And College gets his 33rd for the season, and more importantly, the Tigers' 3rd for the match, and they now hit the front by 2 points.
Yeah, and as we've said, you know, we were talking at half-time about what could happen, what would happen, what could change, and we've just seen in that passage of play there, Kingborough have come out very exciting going forward. It did take a Northern Bombers mistake, but when you make mistakes like that, it just gets capitalised on at this level.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Lockie Griggs having a great season. How was that kick, Rob? Inside 50, had a pinpoint accuracy.
He did, and College was the only person that could mark that. He just pulled the kick across, and magnificent result there for Kingborough.
Okay, ball up back in the centre. Today's umpires, I should have mentioned earlier, Tom McInerney, Nathan Geeson and Brad Percy. And it's umpire Geeson now throwing it up. Tompkinson, beautiful tap towards Cole. He can't quite get possession. Simpson does, though. Back to Lee now to Nicholas running off half back. Kicks it nicely, and hit up there is Harvey Griffiths. Griffiths kicks up here looking for Ives. He gets his hand to it, can't quite take it. Leary dispossessed. Plenty of Bombers around the contest now. They can't pick it up. Campbell's there. Releases the handball. Now back to Nicholas. Finds a player spare there in Ranshannon. He goes back into traffic, but gets a nice kick now to Simpson. What can they set up here? Simpson goes to the pocket once again. Ives on the lead. Can't quite get there. Donnelly, though, takes it off him now from the spillage. Has to get rid of it quickly. Handballs to Golding under pressure. But Donnelly lacks a fortune. Got a high tackle as he disposed of the ball. And Ben Donnelly. In fact, I think it's going to be Golding with a free kick for the high contact. Beg your pardon. Golding up the wing. Leading up is Will Campbell. Handball off now to Golding. His kick's poor. Straight down the throat of Leaf Lang. And what's going to happen here? We've got Whistle back on play.
It's thrown it downfield, hasn't it?
Yep, so it might come back here to the Tigers. They're all running forward. Came back to Marcus Gardner.
Costly mistake.
Yep, downfield free kick. Oh, gee, he puts his teammate, that's Eddie Cole, under a lot of pressure. Inside out kick, inside 50. Tompkinson takes the mark up against Lee. Just used his body, got to the drop of the ball.
He's no good, Lee, either. Just quietly,
no.
Boys, he came up there with a real hobble.
We know, too, he's had some shoulder issues over the year as well, but, yep, he's in a bit of pain there as Tompkinson now. This will be a real advantage now. 8 points in this low-scoring game. If he can kick this one, kicking to the town end of the ground. 40 out, Tompkinson. He's judged it beautifully. No, he hasn't. It's just to the left, one behind. So the Tigers now 3-5-23, leading the Bombers 2-8-20.
Launceston are kicked away by 16 points. It's now back to 10 as North Hobart kick a goal. Great goal from the pocket. And Glenorchy coming back a little bit too. They're within 26 points as the ball comes out of bounds here in front of us, in front of the commentary position. Richmond Tigers by 17, Rob.
Yep. Pleased to see that.
Half-time, Gold Coast by 2 points after Carlton was 7 goals down. A big comeback for the Blues. Tompkinson just having the better of Lee at the moment. That's holding the footy. Has to be. Tears. Just took one too many steps. Did get the handball away. Took it out of the ruck. The umpire probably just said you took one on too many, even though he did get the handball. Avent can't find Simpson. Clifford, geez, he's had some of the ball. Good hit. James Zeitson. He's one of these players that's just busy. Zeitson setting up. Gardner, 1, 2, 3. Bite to the cherry, and here's the big boys. The old saying, Rob, they don't get any smaller as the game goes on.
No, they don't. And they've really shone out in the first 5 or so minutes of this quarter, Mac.
Lee's under real trouble at the moment, I reckon. So Gardner had the better of Leaf Lang. A few more kilos on Connor Leaf Lang as big Gardner. So Gardner 30 metres out towards the city end of the ground here at UTAS to get Kingborough away to a great start. He kicks it. That's their second for the quarter. First to College and then to Gardner. And now they're 4-5-29. They lead by 9 points. North Launceston 2-8-20.
Yeah.
Rob Soward with your insights.
Plenty of time to go, but the alarm bells will be ringing in that Bombers interchange area, because as we've called, the big fellas have just been getting it done and presenting themselves, coupled with Alex Lee not being 100% or not looking 100%. It certainly gets them thinking. So the Bombers are going to have a little think about how they structure up, because at the moment there's a real size differential as you look from here, Macca.
North Hobart kick another goal. They're back to 4 points.
Oh, gee,
big contest down there.
And it's a good contest here as well. Umpire Tom McEntee throw the ball on the turf of UTAS Stadium. Lovely bounce it is too. Tompkinson with a big thump to half forward. Oh, beautiful from Clifford. Oh, but James Webb didn't see the pressure. And a lovely tackle there from young Willman Shandon. Wins the free kick. And gets it out of Sulzberger. Thinks about the handball. Now he goes to Hubbard, who's under pressure, and he falls down. So no free kick. Sulzberger gets it back again. And umpire McEntee also ball up. Fans on both teams wanting...
I was going to say, how good is the Kingborough crowd below us? We can't see them, but we can definitely hear them on the effects point. They've travelled up the highway.
There's no one in Kingston today. They're all below us. It's great support.
As Tompkinson wins the tap out here. Beautifully done to Lachlan Clifford, one of the best on the ground. Up here towards College, front position. Good spoil from Young. Now to Carter. He tries to get the hands free. He does. College for goal. He's second of the quarter. No, he's hit the behind post on the full.
He had more time.
Yes, he did. He could have run in another 5 or 10. Leaf Lang takes it on the kick out. Finds Bennett, or in fact he doesn't find Bennett because it just keeps running away from him. It finds him now. Back in board, man Shandon. Leaf Lang, who ran on. Good work defensively there by Reardon. Now he gets it on the offense. They've called a holding. Well, if it's a Kingborough ball, it has to be played on advantage. Back. It's not. It's a North Launceston kick.
Back to Oscar Mansell, I think.
Back to Mansell.
Yep.
So Mansell on centre wing, or defensive wing, I should say. Not quite to the centre of the ground. The kick will get there, though. So Mansell. It's up and under. Another big pack. We've seen plenty of them today. Alex Lee. He's still going to battle, though. There's no doubt about the big fella, because he did well there on Tompkinson, who had front spot.
The Bombers' defence has been something that they've prided themselves on all year, but they're looking a little bit ragged in the early stages, guys.
Godomski's doing a good job on Cox Goodyer, too, when he goes forward. We've hardly seen the coaching Cox Goodyer. Inside 50 again for the Tigers. We'll get those inside 50s for the quarter. If you don't mind, Dave Gruber. The bottom of this play. Mitchie Nicholas had to turn quick. He had to turn real quick because they're under pressure. Umpire circles. Going to be a ball up.
3-0 this quarter, the Tigers way.
Okay, yep. So we haven't seen it. The North Launceston end. Leary's down there with Dean and also Mitchell. Haven't seen any of the Peel. 40 metres out from the Tigers. They're coming. They're on top of the ladder for a purpose and a reason. Here's Connor Young. Carter sets, good hands. Here it is. Off the ground. It spins. It goes. It's a goal. Good work, the Tigers. And it's a goal to the Tigers off the deck. Tyler Carter. That's his second. And big Carter. It was good hands by James Webb. It's quick hands. And they're on top now.
They just had numbers around the contest, Rob, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. And, they always talk about the third quarter being the premiership quarter. Well, it's all Kingborough at the moment. And that's an elemental defensive mistake. There was no Bombers defender on the goal side of that stoppage.
So, big change in this game. 3 goals.
It's what we were waiting, wasn't it? We were waiting for that moment, that sort of little breakaway. Pro Bunner lead by 19 points. 20 minutes gone into the last quarter. There's going to have to be a big comeback from the Robins if they can get back in this game.
North Hobart, Macca?
North Hobart, it's still, North Hobart by 2 now.
Come back there.
Launceston. Yes, they've kicked 3 in a row.
Lockie Clifford from the centre clearance. He's tackled by Pearce. Oscar Mansell overruns the ball. Good body work there by Cole. Now Lockie Clifford out towards Golding. Bastic now runs through. He can't control it. Gibson trying hard. It's a ball that's just bouncing around everywhere at the moment. Lockie Clifford again. Lays on the ball and causes a stoppage.
I just see it, Rob, at the moment. Maybe it's just still men versus boys. As much as North Launceston have been fantastic this year, we've mentioned it in the call, they still are so young.
Yeah, they are.
They are so young. And this is where the Tigers have been coming from the last couple of years.
Absolutely.
And they've just got this group now that are hungry. They're hungry for the contest. They've got games, they've got skill, they've got body size.
Sling tackle there, Eddie Cole, who's been pretty good on ball. Once again, he's a tough nut.
Just still wouldn't write the Bombers off. Oh,
Absolutely
look out,
not.
she's on after here. It's going to be a free kick. Tompkinson and Chug.
He's thrown Chug to the ground at Tompkinson. In comes Ives to remonstrate.
It's got to be a down the field free kick somehow. The game goes on the far wing. The umpire blew his whistle here.
Godomski with the ball.
The game.
Now hold on a second. Godomski has the ball on the other wing.
Yeah, but it's got to come back to here. It was a free kick either to North Launceston now, inside 50, or a free kick here to Kingborough. So the umpires have got to stop the game. This is what I was saying.
Now players are flooding back to North Launceston.
50. Yeah, it was against Tompkinson.
No, I think it was that last actor throwing Chug to the ground.
The whistle went before that, Foz. So I don't know whether it was a reversal or it was another one. But it's going to be a free kick to Aven outside 50. So that was bizarre. The umpires just didn't really know what was happening. Thankfully, common sense has occurred and they've stopped the game. And now they find Gibson. So Gibson, it's going to be beyond him, I'd imagine. He's going to be beyond 50. Handballs it to himself, which is bizarre. So Gibson. Sulzberger leads. Gibson. It's not a bad kick. Top of the square. Pack forms. Hasn't gone through. Hasn't gone through. Gone through now. No, going to be a ball up. So it was times there for Kingborough. They couldn't get the ball through. It's going to be another go here. Dean rucks. Pearce at the bottom, but they do well here. Webb. Good hands. Up and finds Clifford. They run now through Cole. Cole. Got to go. They're under pressure. Avent puts pressure on. This time Jake Williams. Going to be a free kick.
The pressure's really ramped up. A bit more physical stuff out here.
To player there, Ambrose Brereton. So Brereton finds Griggs. Hit up, goes over the top of the big ruckman there in Carter. Declan Chaga was involved before. Mitchell. He's tackled. The game's lifted. Bailey Mitchell finds Pearce. He spins. He does a U-turn. Coming through there. Going well. A goal. It's a good goal. Oscar Mansell. Opportunist. He goes and he's excited, the youngster.
Yeah, look, that's exactly what the Northern Bombers needed. It's been all Kingborough at the start of this term, but the bit of physical stuff certainly got the Bombers up and about, and they've answered with a great goal to Oscar Mansell. So
they needed it.
They needed it, absolutely needed it. So the next 5 minutes will be absolutely critical to the outcome of this contest.
Down to Alec Croswell.
Yeah, Dave, the feeling is absolutely lifted down here. A few little spot fires then and a few verbals. This game is well and truly on. North have just lifted after the first 10 minutes. I think we're really set for a cracker now, boys.
Absolutely. It's 9 points of difference, 3 goals to 1 in this quarter.
North Hobart by 4 points. Lauderdale by plenty. Tribunna by 13 in the Odfa.
Oh, they've come back a bit, the Campbelltown boys.
And Maxie Walker says, good night, amigos, from Mexico. He's had enough, the big fella. He's liking the Richmond Tigers. He thinks they're going to win. Well, I tell you what, Max, they're back to within 7, the Kangaroos.
Couple of very ordinary free kicks I've heard from my source at the MCG.
Brad Percy throws the ball up. Wins the tap there to Gardner, but it's now taken away by Pearce, who launches inside 50. Cox Goodger can't get the second grab on the ball. Still a chance here for North Launceston. Taking the ball there, I think, is Mansell once again. Heavily disguised as Mitchell throws the ball back to the umpire. Deep inside attacking 50. Here's Godomski. Handballs. Hoping there for a teammate. And one is Williams. Jake Williams, not a great kick. Just finds the boundary.
Fortuitous.
Jake Williams joined the Tigers this year from Claremont. He played a bit with Longford up here, Macca.
My word, Longford, very talented cricket. I went to Hobart for his cricket.
Yep.
Couldn't crack it too much. He might have played 1 second 11 game.
Did
he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's a very talented batsman.
From the throw-in, Gardner wins it straight to Dom Pitt, who's tackled by Webb. So there'll be another ball up, 60 metres out from the Bombers' goal. They've kicked the last goal in this contest. 16 minutes gone.
Carlton have hit the front by 4 points.
With a couple of thrillers here in recent years between these two.
Well, controversial, wasn't it? Did it hit the post or not? I still can't tell.
Yep.
Watch the replay.
Made Fox Footy Facebook. Made us famous for a little while. There's Ives. Gets the tap out here towards Pearce. He can't pick it up. probably going to get another stoppage here, although it comes out to Webb, throws it on the boot, gets a bit of clearance. Zeitzen gets a favourable bounce, doesn't take it with him. Chug does pretty well. Taps the ball over the boundary. Umpire McEntee says throw it in.
Always a throw in, that one. He was under pressure.
North Launceston 3-8-26, trail the Tigers 5-5-35. Here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
Well, when we thought North Launceston might have been gone, they've found a gear, they've lifted, and they've controlled the last 5 to 10 minutes of this game. Sulzberger fighting hard there with Clifford. Oh, they're not liking each other either, these two. It's going to be another ball up to McEntee, umpire McEntee. North Hobart by 4 points. 25 minutes gone at North Hobart. Another clearance to the Tigers. Clifford comes down the line, overrunning the footy there. It's going to be now Chug for North Launceston. He goes left, he goes right. Up and under kick. Theo Ives has got to go. It's 2-on-1. Over the back there, going well was Lockie Griggs, but it's a vent. On the bottom, Cox Goodger might be playing a little bit more forward on this occasion. It's a fortuitous kick and it finds Campbell. So Campbell for the Tigers. They're away. Over the back, James Webb. Griffiths can't find him. He takes the ball off him. They call for 50. Not there. James Webb. So Webb. Good lead. Good mark. Who we got, Fozzle?
Max College.
Max College again.
It's been good, hasn't he?
So Max College.
Lifted this quarter. Been a good battle with him and Young. But I'm sure that's his opponent now.
No, well, because they go forward with their bigs, Young's got to play a bit taller. So Max College is going to kick from 50. He's got one in this quarter. So Max College towards the city end from 53 metres. It's going to make the distance, but not the accuracy.
He's a beautiful kick of the football, isn't he, when you're watching?
It goes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mitch Nicholas started the year with the Tasmania Devils, an overager, and has played some great footy in the back half of the season with North Launceston. Gets him his defensive ex-SPC teammate in Connor Leaflang. Leaflang's going to switch it back to Nicholas. Fat side of the ground. Oh, Nicholas fumbles. He's going to be under pressure here from Sulzberger. Just gets the handball away to Bennett. They might muck this up, North Launceston. Bennett back to Leaflang. Under pressure from Tompkinson. And what does the umpire say about that? Throw it in.
It's Benny Hill music all over that. That's just terrible.
Good full pressure.
Yeah, Tri Barner win the premiership in the Oddfa. So congratulations down there.
The Roos get it done.
Get the final score.
Hot time in the old town tonight at Tri Bunner, I'd say, Macca.
Throw in. I think they're the Kangaroos, the Tri Bunner boys.
Yep.
The Roos.
As Lee gets it to Avent. Sweeping handball now to Bennett. On defensive 50. Further on now by hand to Manchannon. Poor kick. Intercepted by Golding. Lays the tackle on Golding. Does Manchannon. Back to Golding again. Right on the boundary line. Gee, a player just bustled over there by the youngster Dom Pitt. Only 17 years of age, but he showed a bit of aggression then. Out of bounds. 10 points is the margin. North Launceston led at half-time by 4 points. Just about to cross the 20-minute mark. Right on the paint of 50 is the boundary umpire. Does a good job. Gets it in nicely. Gardner with the tap, though. It'll go straight back out of bounds. Mac and North Hobart is still pretty close.
Yeah, it is. Just a rush behind there. Trying to see who it is. It was rushed behind to Launceston, so it's 2 points, I believe.
So we've got a couple of close ones. Of course, Lauderdale, about 39 points up there over Glenorchy. Lee wins the tap towards the boundary line. We get our third boundary throw in a row. Dave Gruber, some stats, clearances. Gee, Kingborough got on top, boys. 9-3 in this quarter.
Yeah.
Inside 57-5. Marks inside 54-1. The Tigers' way.
You just look down. It's Clifford, it's Cole, it's Campbell. They're all very similar.
Yep.
Yes.
James Webb.
And they just, James Webb, my word, he adds a bit of class to it, really. He's just a class on the outside.
Kicked away.
Avent.
Yep. You go back.
Plenty of the footy down the line. It's going to be a free kick. As I get the binoculars up, it's a long way away. It's a free kick to Bradley Cox-Goodger. I like a goal or two from him. Griffiths tries to fly. Doing well coming back the other way, though, is Lachlan Sulzberger. It's a kick. It's a kick from Mansell. It doesn't find the goal square. And it's a good mark from Ben Donnelly. So Donnelly finds Webb.
Been good.
Webb, left foot. It's a great kick. Will Clifford, in fact, it wasn't a great kick because it bounced on its end. Sulzberger finds Cox Goodger. Cox Goodger looking deep for Mitchell. It's still 2-on-1. They're just outnumbered down there at the moment. And they come out with the footy through Ed Golding. So Ed Golding had Jake Williams on, ignored him. Goes longer to the big fella in Marcus Gardner. Can't take the mark, goes over the top. Fighting for the ball is Lachlan Sulzberger. Gives it to Tyler Carter. Cox Goodger's trying to lift. He's tackled. He's gone. Umpire Moore agrees. And the crowd goes up.
That's a good tackle for a big fella against a running player, Rob.
Oh, fantastic. Just, again, showing the effort. Oh, we're lucky he didn't give 50 away there. Just showing the effort of Kingborough at the moment.
So Tyler Carter is kicked too. Oh, he sells a bit of candy. He sells it again. He's taking the you-know-what, big Marcus Gardner. Down the line, Eddie Cole, inside 50. Punching the ball from behind was Lee. Did well. On the outside, Blake McCulloch. He's going to stab it from the pocket. Blake McCulloch. Ooh. Goodness gracious.
No daylight there.
Would have been goal of the day, but not to be. And it's going to be a North Launceston kick-out.
Big comeback from St Pat's in the third quarter. They lead it three-quarter time. 8-10-58 to Lilydale, 7-9-51.
All of a sudden, Bruiser Flynn doesn't mind sending the text.
Oscar Mansell releases man Shandon, who's got Avent with an absolute acre of space over there. He approaches 50 now, kicks to the goal square. Oliver Dean was there, up against Donnelly. Donnelly too good on that occasion, sees the ball through from behind. So North Lonnie now 9 behinds. They're 3-9-27. They trail the Tigers 5-7-37. Comes out to Lockie Clifford. Barty Mitchell, beg your pardon, was there. And that contest there with Donnelly, that's an interesting one. Barty Mitchell, or Lockie Mitchell, is it? Playing full forward at the moment.
No, Bailey Mitchell.
Bailey Mitchell got it right the first time. Lockie Clifford now, that's a kick from the runners. Blake McCulloch, he gets there, taps it on out of Zeitzen. Inside out, right foot kick. To the advantage here of Carter, who's up against two. He stood his ground. Jake Williams has got it. He spins. He gets his kick smothered nicely by Leaf Lang. Back towards Williams. In there was Bales. Gets the handle out towards Young. Further on now to Hubbard. They're under pressure in the north back line. Hubbard is tackled. Now does he bring that back in? Umpire says no.
Lockie Mitchell was he dropped, was he? Or was he
injured, I think.
Injured, is he?
Yep.
Okay.
Connor Young's holding his leg there. I'm not sure what's happened there.
Gets away hobbling.
Old-fashioned corky, maybe.
Lee there with Tompkins, who takes it out of the ruck, kicks it right up in the air. Has it gone 15? He goes back after it again. Thumped away. Players go to the ground. College is hurt. Keep an eye on that one. Sulzberger now gets it to Manshannon, and College is slow to get up, but he will do so now. It's a boundary throw in about 45 metres around from the Tigers' goal. They lead by 10 points, 25 minutes gone.
Carlton by 1 point up on the Gold Coast, and it's North Hobart by 4 points down at North Hobart Oval. Lauderdale 81, League Glenorchy 38. And here, it's North Launceston trailing by 10 points. Tompkinson, he's been massive today, the big fella in Tompkinson. Two real competitors, him and Lee. I was amazed when I wrote down the goal kickers this morning that Tompkinson had kicked so many goals for the season. Something that you don't know Alex Lee for. He doesn't get the opportunity to go forward with no real other ruckman. Of course, Oliver Dean playing today as that second option. Haven't really seen him in the ruck though. Major forward. He's Reardon. He'll take those extra yards as he does. But Connor Young comes off his opponent. And a really good intercept mark in the back line. Connor Young. He's got Manshannon up the middle. They would like to give up another one, the Bombers. Finds Sulzberger. Goes out wide to Bennett. A bit more methodical. North Launceston running hard is Bales. Started the game well. First quarter. So Bales. A little change in tactics here. Leafland comes off. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Mitchell Nicholas is maybe up the line. Ignores him. Taking their time, the Bombers. It's a 2-on-1. Griffiths. No, it's the two that gets it. There's always going to be a mark. Ben Donnelly.
One of the best intercept markers in the league. Donnelly takes the mark. Now to Jake Williams. Defensive side of the wing. He's having a quarter, Jake Williams. Quite early. Working his way into the game. Kicks long here. Plenty of Bombers defenders there. Big thump away from Fletcher Bennett towards the boundary line. He'll beat Will Clifford over the boundary. Boundary throwing.
3-quarter time at North Hobart, and the Demons will go in with a 4-point lead in the last quarter.
Massive game, that one for Launceston. You'd think they'd still make finals, but third spot becomes difficult if they lose. Tap out there from Lee. Avent releases Sulzberg. He's tackled from behind by Reardon. Yeah, ball up.
Who's North Hobart got next week, did you say?
You want to flick that one up, Macca.
Yeah, because what are you saying, that they'll make finals if they beat Lauderdale?
Pretty sure they've got Clarence next week at North Hobart, but you might check that one.
So you saying that Launceston should make finals even if they lost to Lauderdale?
Yes, if they lost to North Hobart, they should still make it.
Even if they lost to Lauderdale next week?
Oh, that'd make it tougher.
Yeah.
Here we go now to Gibson. Gibson kicks inside 50. Ives is there. Gets his hands to it. Taken away by Donnelly. Great smother. Back to Ives. The snap wasn't great. Fell off his boot. Out of bounds.
Yeah, so North Hobart, they go Clarence next week.
And North Launceston.
And then Launceston go Lauderdale and Glenorchy. So that might be the one that gets them across the line. Although Glenorchy last time nearly beat them.
Rob, you noticed something?
Yeah, look, that's just a classic example of what Kingborough have done all day with that intercept defence. Just those extra bodies around the footy.
Yep, Donnelly's been huge back there. Leary snaps on goal, but it was always going to be short. And there he is again, Ben Donnelly. Another intercept mark. Kick's not bad out here at defence. Should have been taken there by Will Clifford. Here's Golding. Has support. And now the umpire's seen a throw there, I think, from Golding, which is interesting. And that will be an opportunity for Mitchell. And the orange boots. He's looking to handball it off. He's not confident in getting the journey. 28 minutes gone. Can't be long left. Shortish quarters today. Pulling the socks up. This is to bring the margin back to 4. He's still not confident. Now he's going to launch, or he sets it up to the hot spot. There's nobody there.
Oh, Gibson.
Fortunate bounce for North Launceston. Mansell again. This time he gets pushed off the kick. Goes close to the boundary line. Little snap by Mansell once again. Through for a behind.
No one read that one, Rob, did they? Gibson just let it go over his head and thinking there was someone coming from behind, and there was no one there.
Yeah, absolutely. We were expecting a bit of magic there, and it didn't eventuate.
Reardon goes down the middle. He was looking for George O'Neill, but finding the ball was Chug, who can't find Cox Goodger. It falls in front of a big group of Tigers, and they're away. It's a bit of a hack kick towards the big fella in Tompkinson. He tries to sit himself against Mitchy Nicholas. Leaf Lang out the back, finding Ethan Hubbard, takes the footy, carries. Can't find Gibson. Pearce, spun, tackled, ball not going anywhere.
They've just got, the Bombers just haven't got enough out of guys like Pearce and Cox Goodger today.
Theo Ives we haven't seen.
Yeah, Leary, they've been quiet.
To be fair.
They've been quiet, yeah.
Theo Ives we've hardly seen get his hands on the footy any marking contest. He'll take the ruck work here though. But they get the ball for the clearance. Chug. Bales, left foot, inside 50. Gibson's got to go, but they're just too strong. Kingborough half-backs, Blake McCulloch. Once again, it still just looks, just that few more years' experience. They've got plenty of options, the Tigers, and this time it's Reardon. So Reardon, 29th, nearly 30 minutes gone. They'll look to slow it down. They lead by 9. Tompkinson, good work, Lee. We thought he might have been gone. Tompkinson, though, butters up. He finds Clifford, steps inside, out the back here to Zeitson. He'll have the last kick of the third quarter.
Here we go.
After Tompkinson.
Here we go.
So Tompkinson in amongst it. Of course, the Tigers were in amongst all that last year with the grand final, Launceston and the Mitch Thorpe incidences. And it's going to be broken up pretty quickly, I think.
Before you get the goal kickers, Mac, we've got something from Alec Croswell on the boundary. Alec, what do you got?
Yeah, Dave, not only did the tempers flare on the ground, actually, the benches are very close together down here. And the weren't happy with each other at one point, and I was very close to the action. Sort of the hair bristled on the back of my neck, mate, and I had a cold shiver, so it's definitely lifted down here. So, and also we just had a player come off the ground, number 38 for North Launceston, Mitchell Nicholas.
Yep.
Looks a bit sore in the left leg at this stage. He was getting a rub down earlier in the quarter. getting some work in the calves. So I'm not sure if it's just cramp or not at this stage, but I'll follow up and get back to you.
No, Isaac, let you get out of the huddles there.
Saw the big fella Tompkinson tried to sit on his head, and those kilos sitting on your head that wouldn't come up well. But it's North Launceston 3-10-28. So they kicked 1 goal, 2 for the quarter, but it was the Tigers who kicked 3. They kicked 3 goals, 3 for their quarter. So they lead by 9 points. And the goal kickers for Kingborough was College and Gardner in that quarter with 1 each. O'Neill also has 1, but the leading goal scorer is Tyler Carter. He's got 2. And singles for North Launceston, Dean, Chug and Oscar Mansell in that quarter got 1 as well. So it's still all on the line. You think maybe at this stage it could just be the Tigers. I don't know if Rob wants to sway back that way now. Rob, do you?
As hard as it is to barrack against the Tigers, I still just think, you know, if you were sitting back as an independent observer, as we all are here, and you're watching the game, you think Kingborough, you know, probably should be more in front.
Correct.
The Bombers have had quite a few guys that probably haven't done what we normally expect from them. So, to me, if they lift, you know, a little bit, you sort of think that they can get back in. They did stem the bleeding when it looked like Kingborough were going to run away. So I'm still sticking with my original tip. But what a terrific game of footy, a tough, physical game of footy.
Well, in perfect conditions too, you know, 3 goals to 5, but it's all been pressure. Lots of stoppages, lots of tackles, lots of intercept marks. It's really been the battle of the backlines.
Discipline's also going to play a big game, Macca. I mean, you know, there's been a couple of instances where Kingborough have probably let themselves down a little bit. Tompkinson gave away a silly free kick.
One, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And so, you know, again, as we've said all game, the theme's been which side's going to crack first. So if the Bombers can come out and kick the first goal, look out.
We'll do groups of stats after the break. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio at 3/4 time. It's North Launceston 3-10-28, trailing the Tigers 5-7-37.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Community Care Tasmania is your local not-for-profit home care service provider in Tasmania. We deliver a full range of home care services with care and empathy. Our friendly, professional and innovative staff will tailor care to your needs. Ring 6334 0990 or 1300 722 400 and speak to a local. Also, you can visit cct.org.au to find out more. At Community Care Tasmania, we put your care first. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
City Park Radio needs a volunteer sponsorship coordinator. Sponsorship is the lifeblood of community radio. If you like meeting local businesses, have some sales experience and basic computer skills, you could be perfect for the job. Hours and days are negotiable and would suit someone with a few casual hours each week to give back to the community. Interested? Email sales@cityparkradio.com.au or leave a message by phoning 6334 3344. It's your opportunity to be involved with your local community radio station and lead the coordination of sponsorship at City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Dave Moore, Matthew McGee, Rob Soward, Dave Gruber and Alec Croswell on the boundary with you this afternoon. City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Bringing you all the action from the Tasmanian State League. Groups of stats to 3/4 time. Hit-outs, Kingborough 15, North Launceston 19, 10-7 the Bombers' way in that quarter. Clearances, North Launceston... Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong sheet. Thanks, Groobs. There we go. Start again. Hit-outs. Hit-outs, Kingborough 30. North Launceston 27. Clearances 26-21 the Bombers' way, but Kingborough got on top in that quarter 12-6. Inside 50s, 36 North Launceston, 35 Kingborough. Still very even. Marks inside 54 to Kingborough in that quarter. They lead that 7-4 over the day. Free kicks, the Bombers 29, Kingborough 26. Intercept marks are interesting. 12 to Kingborough, 7 to North Launceston. I think Ben Donnelly had about 3 in that quarter. Okay, Alec, you've come out of the huddle there. What did Trent Baumel have to say at 3/4 time?
Yeah, Trent was very happy with the way they're playing, obviously. That quarter was very good, but he does want them just to slow it down, still stay positive and not get caught up in any afters or anything like that, so just keep their head. He's very happy with their pressure, so they're really pressuring the ball carrier and trying to minimise that handball receive that North get. And yeah, just really happy with their defence, and that's where their attack comes from. So a lot of entries inside 50 that quarter.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alec. We'll talk to you during the last quarter. Okay, so
good to see some of the Devils boys here watching the game. Of course, going to go down the highway tomorrow. I am down to KG5, 12:30. The Devils have had a few weeks off. They're back tomorrow versus the Calder Cannons. So the penultimate game for them.
Now Calder based on the ladder there.
They're fifth.
Right, okay.
Yeah, Devils are second. All the school footies finished over in Melbourne. All the Victorian footies finished. Obviously the national championships. So all teams now are pretty much full strength. That's going to be a great contest. And what a great contest we have here. Alex Lee with a massive thump, but it goes straight down Eddie Cole's throat. Inside 50 for Dave Gruber. Bennett does well for North Launceston. He punches it away. Leary might have found himself up the ground. A fraction Rob. He's up on a wing. Tompkinson tackled. Might have thrown it, but he got away with it. Left foot, Lockie Griggs. Inside 50, bottom of the pack here. George O'Neill spilt it. And it's going to be held up. So Leary, I'd say he's gone up to give him a bit of spark on ball.
Yeah, they had to do something to get him into the game.
They do. So it's a throw up. Good work from Lee. Finds Pearce. Beautiful ruck work. But it's going to go down Reardon's throat. He couldn't take the mark. Godomsky done a really important job down back. Here's Griggs. Can't take it. It's got to be a free kick against Manchan. It is. So Lockie Griggs front on contact, chopping of the arms, all of the above. And Griggs plays that wing roll for them beautifully. Long sleeves. What's he found? A group of Northern Bombers is what he's found. Coming away, Bennett, Manchan. They've got to go and try and find someone on the outlet. And they have. It's Simpson. He goes by hand now over the top. Here is Leary on the wing. Left foot. This is what they had to get going. It's Mansell. He takes one bounce. He takes a second. No, he doesn't. He hits up his coach. Cox Goodger. Play on. It's the start they need. He's pumped the fist, and they've done it. They've kicked the goal, North Launceston, through Bradley Cox Goodger. And it was all the way back here because they had to take the risk. I called it. They had to go. They did. And Leary, I like him up on the wing.
Absolutely. And fortune favours the brave. You know, like they had to do something. And as you called it, Macca, took the risk and it paid off, getting Leary out into space to weave his magic. And once they opened it up, you know, all of a sudden, there's lots of space here. And I actually thought Mansell might have made a mistake.
I loved his decision. His decision.
He did. And you know, what safer pair of hands and boot to find than Bradley Cox Goodger.
I loved his decision that he didn't blaze away. He nearly ran too far, to be totally honest, because he didn't bounce it second time.
Alec Croswell on the boundary.
Really well.
Yeah, Foz. Alex Lee got up very gingerly after a contest in Kingborough's forward line. I think he's really carrying that ankle, actually, but he's pretty tough and carrying on. And
he wins a centre bounce there to Aven, who gets a high tackle. They'll go back into attack again. The Bombers.
Tell you what, he is tough, Lee.
And he plays injured a lot.
Looks gone about 4 times today.
Yeah.
Manchan has been busy. Nice handball, releases Bennett. He's got Simpson in support, who's got Young in support if he wants him. He kicks inside 50, here towards Harvey Griffiths. He leads out and takes the mark. He's been quiet today. He's had a big season, Harvey Griffiths. He's kicked 29 goals. And he hasn't kicked many more important ones as this one, if he can put it through the big sticks to put the Bombers back in front. Within about 3.5 minutes of this last quarter, Harvey Griffiths, he'll cross the paint of 50 as he kicks. Slightly right of centre. Griffiths, he kicks the goal for North Launceston and puts them back in front. 3 minutes into the last quarter.
You can't bet against them, can you? Northern Bombers, it's their culture of their club. They back themselves in with their run. They know they're fit. And 3/4 time, Bradley Cox Goodger would have been all positive. And as you said, we haven't played well. We've had blokes that have been down. Griffiths we haven't seen much of today. You know, and all of a sudden, even Cox Goodger kicks the first, Griffiths kicks the second.
It's the thing, isn't it? When you get that feeling that when sides are down a little bit, that you can't keep them down for the whole game. So, game on, and we'll see what Kingborough can do.
Still close at North Hobart, Macca.
Yeah, 5 points North Hobart. So, what's that? 9-10 minutes gone. Launceston trying to survive in that third position. North Hobart have the ball at the moment. They're looking pretty good, North Hobart, and a good back end of the year. They get the ball going their way to Northern Bombers, but it's cut off in the back line by Will Clifford. He goes out towards the railway wing in front of Leary, and it's going to be a throw in. Leary tried to take it as deliberate, but it was not. Richmond Tigers are away. They're 26 up halfway through the last, and it's still close on the Gold Coast. 3/4 time, Gold Coast by a point. So they continue to fight there to the Suns. Good effort from them with Ben King being a late out as well, their major goal kicker. They're putting it to Carlton, who'd be really worried at the moment. Michael Voss. Tigers. Joey Bauer goes up. Oh, good lead, good mark, good grab in front. It's that man, James Zeitson. I like his electricity around the footy. He's got that bit of spark as Zeitson. Goes inside to about the 20-metre mark. Bennett. It's been pretty solid back there today, Fletcher Bennett. Just done all those 1%ers, Rob. Punching and tackling and intercept marking.
Yeah, he's Mr. Reliable. They love him in that intercept role, you know, but gives his all the time, Fletch, and yeah.
He's now got the job on Max College.
Yeah. Yes. 11 points now, North Hobart.
Ooh.
Boundary throw in front of the scoreboard. Front position Lee wins the tap. Simpson with a further tap, trying to find Pearce up against the boundary line. It spills over. So 6 minutes gone. 2 goals to 0 in this quarter. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. 3 to Kingborough, 2 to North Launceston. So they scored 2 goals from 2 entries to take the lead early stages last quarter. Still plenty of footy to play. Stay with us here on City Park Radio. And the TSL live stream. Taken out of the ruck was Gardner. Unopposed. Launches for goal. It was almost slow motion stuff, Rob Soward.
Yeah, it was.
He missed the goal, by the way.
He did miss it. Very slow-mo.
Oh, and a good smother there. Good forward pressure on Bennett. Let's wait till the player turns around. It's Max College on his opponent, Bennett. So it's out of bounds. The Seagulls are circling in front of us here.
No chips on the ground, that's for sure.
Oh, I think there are. There's a few Seagulls interested as here it comes out towards Golding. Can't take possession. Fights on hard as Ed Golding. Falls over. They work it out now through Chug. Back to Manshandon. Well, Hubbard it was, I think. Oh, almost a big mark there to Ives. Just couldn't complete it. Out comes Leary. A little bit of class to Griffiths. Funny old torpedo. Now downfield down Tompkinson. Griffiths wants to go on with Tompkinson.
Talked about that at 3/4 time, didn't we?
That's what Trent
Baumler. Shannon too slow, Ollie Dean.
Trent Baumler also said it at 3/4 time. He wanted them to be disciplined. Dean, little kick now to Simpson. Simpson. Here it is for Gibson. Can he take it? Nearly. Good spot from Campbell. Now Bastick, great handball over the top towards Golding. It spills out of bounds. They've worked it out a defensive 50, the Tigers.
Young Ollie Dean, they're obviously a bit of an inexperience, but he had to be on there. He knew it was going to be their free kick. He could have got the ball over. They had 2 players inside 50 and just took too long to get the ball back around the mark. But anyway, all to be, they get to go again, the Northern Bombers. Boundary throw in from outside 50. Lee, it was shallow. It finds Avent, left foot kick. Here is Dean. It's touched off the boot. No, it's touched just in front of him, though. Good fingernails in. Trying to see who that was with the fingernails.
Yes.
It was number 7, Will Clifford.
Very lucky.
Just got the fingernails as the ball hits the chest of Ollie Dean. 40 metres out. Northern Bombers end. Cox Goodger looks dangerous. Simpson. Leary, like his pace at the moment round the footy. Pearce puts the pressure on. It's a kick for the Tigers. Coming back, Chug, he steps back into trouble. Find the ball to Avent, he finds trouble. Brandon Cox-Goodger finds trouble. 3 tackles in a row, no holding the footy, but it's going to come the way of the big fella for Kingborough, Tyler Carter. He's kicked 2, the big number 35. He finds James Zeitzen. So Zeitzen inside 50. They set themselves to the Bombers defenders down the front. It's Jake Williams. He gets another crack here though. Does Max College. Williams, handball over his head. It's scrappy. It's pressure still from start to finish at the moment. It's just the pressure. And the Northern Bombers get the ball back inside the centre square, and the umpire says, give it to me. Well, players are just making mistakes and skill errors and things that they wouldn't normally do against some of the lesser sides, Rob Soward.
Yeah, the pressure's just still through the roof. You know, we were all a little bit worried that maybe it'd drop off as they tied out, but no, it's still there.
Umpire Percy throws it up. Tompkins gets it nicely to Golding. He fumbles. Trying to work it out, the Northern Bombers. It comes out the back of the contest. Pearce tries to kick it off the ground. Back on it again. And it's going to be a push in the back. I think that's against the Northern Bombers. Let's wait for the Tigers player to emerge. And it's Lockie Clifford, who had a massive third quarter.
Launceston back to within 4, but North Hobart having a shot for goal.
How long gone, Macca?
15 and a half minutes.
Still a bit to play. It's Clifford now. Finds Ed Golding. He's been a busy player. He goes the long option up here. He's got Gardner. Front position. Marcus Gardner. And he had a couple of shorter options at Ed Golding, but he put faith in the big tools that he had up there. And one of those was Marcus Gardner, who kicked a goal in the third quarter. Kicked the one for the day. To hush over UTAS Stadium. Vocal crowd in today. There's a big kick in this last quarter for the Tigers. This will put them back in front. Marcus Gardner for his second. And he kicks the goal, and they're back in front, the Kingborough Tigers. Much to the pleasure of their home crowd. Or their away crowd.
Our crowd sounds like their
That's
home
right.
crowd. My word.
It's 5:10:40. The Bombers, they trail the Tigers 6-8-44. And a lovely grab there by Marcus Gardner, Rob.
Yeah, look, we've talked all day about that size differential, and they don't get any smaller, as Macca said earlier, and it's just a great mark, a great presence. Bombers had sort of nullified a bit of that advantage earlier in the earlier part of this quarter, getting lots of bodies back there, but the strength and size of Gardner, front position, stood out. Great mark, great goal.
10 points North Hobart. They kicked that goal. Gold Coast Suns by a point. Lauderdale by plenty. And congratulations to Triabunna, the Roos, who won the Oddford Grand Final against the Campbelltown Robins today. Not a great bounce, so the umpire will take it and throw it up in the middle of the ground. Yes, David?
Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. 5 to Kingborough, 4 to North Launceston this quarter.
Good. Alex Lee palms it back palm. That was beautiful ruck work. Circle that one, groups. It goes inside 50, but what a mark. The Kingborough Tigers, as the defender gets up.
Blake McCulloch. Left foot kick, swings it to the other side of the ground. Doing well here are the Kingborough defenders. Joey Brower comes up now. Nice kick. Finds Will Campbell with space in front of him. That's a nice kick also. Finds Sulzberger. Drops the mark though. Pressure on him from Declan Chugg. But Sulzberger does well with acceleration. He comes away from Chugg Bennett. Puts pressure on. Too much pressure. And the umpire says that's going to be a free kick to George O'Neill, who looked lively early. He swings it out wider. Inside 50. The big fella Tompkinson. But what a defensive effort from Alex Lee. Stuck the fist in, he saved a goal, and now Sulzberger finds it away. Kicks up the wing. It's a poor kick from Sulzberger. It's into the grandstand. So, free kick the Tigers. It's going to go the way of Ambrose Brereton.
Geez, Alex Lee was good there.
He was.
Short to Brower.
Good luck giving the votes today too, Rob, by the way.
I can't tell you, the stress levels are through the roof. I'm going to have to ring Max.
Brower. Inside 50, Declan Chugg, who's really good today. He's had injury problems mid-season, but he's certainly worked his way back into the team. Kicked a goal earlier, short to Hubbard. Barely 15. Switch now with Leaf Lang, who has space. He runs on and bounces. Might take a second. Now he kicks it now towards half forward.
No.
Not a great option. Or Godomski should have marked that.
Well done.
Now it spills to Gibson. Gibson off to Cox Goodger from 45. Write it down. Write it down. Cox Goodger doesn't miss those. And he's put the Bombers back in front. He's second for the quarter.
Well, that was a poor kick from Leaflang. It wasn't poor execution, it was just a poor decision.
Yes.
He put Gibson 1-on-3, but young Will Gibson, he actually just halved the contest and got the handball out to Cox Goodyear, and then it was good night, Nurse.
Yeah, and I must admit, we've talked about the power of Kingborough's intercept defence all day. I still don't know why they just blaze it in there. They've been terrific today, Kingborough, but full credit Will Gibson there. Created that opportunity.
I think Lockie Godomsky would like that moment back again. He probably should have taken that mark.
He should have done, but Gibson just put enough pressure on. And Bradley Cox Goodyear, we've said we hardly saw him in the first 3 quarters, not his normal self, but he's found his spot forward now, and he's causing some headaches. They get it going now through Pearce. He'll take it inside 50, long and deep. Griffith sets. It's going to be who recovers first, but it's going to be the Kingborough defender in Will Clifford settles things down. And it's a 2-point lead, the Northern Bombers. Another lead change. After that goal to Cox Goodyear, they come out here. Mansell had a couple of important moments. Mansell is dispatched by Lockie Clifford. They want holding the footy, and the Northern Bomber supporters are saying, well, that's holding the man. That's the thing about footy. Each side just sees something different in that one contest.
Absolutely, and that's what we love about our game, isn't it? Both sides think they got the rough end of the deal there.
Still North Hobart by 10 points. Boundary throw in. Tompkinson does well. Hit up. Geez, that's a good contest. That's George O'Neill.
You actually hear the thump of the bodies from up here.
Jack Avent.
I found my next boundary umpire to follow too. I didn't realise him. Young Noah Jackson there throwing that ball in. Son of boundary umpiring coach Mark Jackson.
Fantastic.
So following in his dad's footsteps. Here's Lockie Clifford. Inside 50. Leaflang does well. On the outside, it's Ethan Hubbard. He's had some good moments this quarter as well. Oh, Leaflang, you heart in mouth when he gets it. It's a floating handball to Bennett. They do well. Good pressure, though, by James Zeitson, who keeps it in. Leaflang was going to go far side. He didn't back himself in with the kick to find Chug, so he went to handball back, and it's a bit like Frost from Hawthorn in that back one. He gets it.
Nervous,
you just don't worry. Gold Coast have kicked away again. They're 9 points. I want to say kicked away. They've hit the front. 7 points up. Boundary throw in. My boy Jackson again, Foz. He's going to be my next Dom Shaliro following his journey through. I got Dom Shaliro to the Big Island. See if I can get Noah there. Down the line, it's Leary, and he finds the white line over in front of our man on debut, Alec Croswell. Don't know whether he'll be in the votes today, but he's come back well after a shaky start.
He has, and he dispersed
him under the bars.
He dispersed those seagulls too. I think he'd eaten all his chips.
I was going to say there wasn't many chips left from Alec Croswell down there. Seagulls are falling up short. Lee, what a mammoth effort from him it's been today. Here's Cox Goodyear. Gibson, doing well, throwing himself in there was Blake McCulloch. Reardon, he's been tough and strong today too, Reardon.
How good have the games been here between these two teams in the last couple of years?
Unbelievable, Fossil.
Buy your tickets if you want a grand final, so this will be terrific.
Tompkinson with a tap out. Intercepting now is Pearce. Tompkins goes back in again. Blade Sulzberger. His kick is smothered. Players falling down all over the place. Nice handball to Bales from Sulzberger. One-on-one, Ives and Donley. Donley wins it again. He's been fantastic back there. Judged it beautifully. The kick, dangerous, but comes off to Reardon. Reardon spots up a man in a lot of space, and that's Eddie Cole. He cruises off half-back. Takes a lot of time to decide. Now he kicks wide. Out here looking for Golding, I think it is. Off hands. Chance here for Chug. He takes it. He's tackled. Brereton's in there. He lays a tackle on Griffiths. Ball, says the crowd. It's going to be a stoppage, is it? No, it comes out to Bales. Here it goes now through Oscar Mansell, who kicks inside 50. Ives again. Donley again. Ben Donley. My, oh my, what a game he's having. And he kicks it up the wing here. Looking for O'Neill. Great spoil there from Leary. Griggs gets there.
That's terrific.
Falls out of bounds.
Either way, the coaches would be absolutely ecstatic that they have a game like this. Finals-like atmosphere, close game, big contests. Just what you want.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't be real happy if you were a Ford and Donnelly come and stood on you, would you, Foz? Ben Donnelly? How would you have played him back there in your 200?
I don't know, mate. No good.
Did we get us some Pat score, by the way, from Big Bruiser across the road?
I'm just sweating on a text.
I reckon they won it there. That's a free kick against Manchannon because he's thrown it.
I reckon Foz would have taken him to the goal line.
O'Neill. They've come again here, the Tigers, through Eddie Cole. Tompkinson sets. Tompkinson! You could tell that he was just going to set himself, use his bulk, get rid of Leaf Lang, and it was a nice kick too. And the Tigers, they trail by 3. A little bit to the left of where that shot was taken last year, Fozzle. That may or may not have hit the post.
22 points at North Hobart, all over.
22 points, North Hobart up.
Yep. Sorry.
And Launceston will come home with no points. North Hobart done really well. Here's Tompkinson to put the Tigers back in front. It starts near side, it drifts back. It's a great goal. And he gives it to the North Launceston supporters with a double fist.
He did. He gave it to them all right. I mean, just what a game. Just when you think one side's getting on top, you know, we're in for a fantastic end of this game there now, but big and strong. We've talked about that all day. So I guess the easy way for the Bombers to stop that happening is just to keep the ball in their control. Yeah. Maybe going forward a bit more by hand, a bit more short, rather than just bang it into the likes of Donnelly. They need to do something.
Well, here's your best opportunity. You got 6-6-6. If you can get someone, if Lee can get the hit out here against Gardner and hit that space in front, let's see. But Gardner gets the hit out. It goes the other way. It's going to be Campbell. Coming through is O'Neill. Probably should have let Campbell go forwards. Yes, David Moore.
Final scoring for May Park. St Pat's 75 to Fleet Lilydale 71. St Pat's to play Scotch next week. Clifford now. Short kick towards half forward. Spills out O'Neill. Bounce doesn't favour him. Instead it goes to Bales, who weaves his way through. Kicks towards half forward. Gee, that's a good mark coming out by Will Clifford. Tigers backline holding strong in this last quarter. Inside 50s, 9 apiece. Such an even game. Will Clifford daring kick to a leading Campbell. Eye of the needle stuff. And he finds Campbell. He goes wider. Over there, looking for Joey Brower. Brower inside 50. Tompkinson's there again. And he's got it! Up against Leaf Lang. He just got one arm free and took the grab. And, gee, in a low-scoring game, if they get out by 9 points, that is going to be tough to rein in for the Bombers. But we've seen a lot of momentum shifts, Rob Soward, in this game.
Yeah, we have. But, you know, the fact that the big fellas are popping up and taking these strong marks at this crucial part of the game, you know, probably says to me that might be enough to get them there, because they don't get any shorter, and the Bombers' defence has been at 6s and 7s today with how they handle this.
Jack Tompkinson, he's 40 metres out, 45-degree angle on the right-hand side. Kicks towards goal. Jack Tompkinson has kicked the goal. That puts the Tigers 9 points up here at UTAS Stadium. 2 big marks, 2 big goals in the last quarter. And today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas. For your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. And Big Jack has stood tall in the last quarter, Rob Soward.
Yeah, he has. I mean, that's where that Alex Lee, the change in the rucks obviously hurt them. Lee was dropping back and was providing a really, really good opponent for him. Macca called that crucial fist in when Tompkinson was on the lead. But now Tompkinson, well, he's back in the ruck now.
Yeah, I would have liked to maybe seen North give Alex Lee a bit of a chop out. Use Dean when they had their second or third ruckman in there in Gardner. Like, they're still big boys, but I just think Lee's just got so much to do.
Yes.
And he tries to do a bit more there, but it's Tompkinson. Simpson. Inside 50, Will Gibson in front, takes one. Can't get 2 bites of the cherry. It's going to be a free kick, though. It's going to be against Blake McCulloch. Right on 50 for Gibson. Gibson, left foot, Dean! Ollie Dean! The big fella takes a grab. And he's pulled up a little bit sore.
Time on.
And Ollie Dean takes the mark. It was a nice kick. Dean comes up with a little ankle. I'll tell you what, though, this is a lad next year, Rob. When you're 200-plus centimetres, he might be one that's getting spoken about.
16 years of age?
Yeah, has just turned 17 last week, I believe. 17 last week, or within the last week. And I can tell you what, his dad never took any marks like that.
No.
Here's Ollie Dean. He's 30 metres out, City end of the ground. Spins the ball, they need it. Northern Bombers, they get it. What a lifter. What a mark, what a goal. Ollie Dean, mark of the day. But Dave Moore sponsors. And Ollie Dean, he's still a little bit ginger. The size 18 boots the boy's got.
Size 18?
Yes, he couldn't get in there. Could only get him a 17. They had to stretch the leather to make him 18.
Unbelievable.
They toured the world to get him some footy boots that would fit him. And what a game. It's the Tigers by 3. When you think that it's going to be the Tigers, when you think the Bombers, it just keeps coming and going. Dave Moore, the poor fella's come off his deathbed to be here. Grooms has got a sweaty hand on the pen. It's all happening, and it's 24 and a half minutes gone.
I was going to say, probably got another 2 to 3 minutes left based on other quarters. But more goals in this quarter than any other quarter today as Tompkinson's caught. Clifford gets it out. Important contest here to get inside 50 here for the Tigers, but they get it knocked back by the North defence. Now it's Avant. A lot of calls of ball here from both crowds. Out it comes. Cole, he'll take on the tackler. He'll be happy to ball it up here. Just inside the paint of 50. Tigers into attack. 25 minutes gone. 3 points the Tigers lead.
They're out on their feet, some of these players. I'm just watching Tompkinson sucking the big ones there at the moment. The big ground's taking its toll.
Tap out comes towards Simpson. Now to Campbell. Can he break free? He can't. Good tackle there by Declan Chugg. It's now 45 out.
Lauderdale win by 30, Foz. And as you mentioned, North Hobart got over Launceston.
Ball up. Knocked out by Lee. Comes to Lockie Clifford. Big game today to the goal square. Can someone take a mark? Zeitzen was there. Tapped away now towards Young. Connie Young boots it out of defensive 50. But it's going almost a mark taken there by Will Clifford. He's bundled over the boundary line. No free kick, going to be a throw in.
Gold Coast Suns by 7 points. Still probably 10 or so minutes to go. And the Richmond Tigers win by 29.
26 minutes gone here at UTAS Stadium. 3 points the difference the Tigers' way. This is a top spot on the TSL ladder. How tense is it? Comes out now towards Leary. Tries to release a kick. Goes towards the boundary line. Leary again. Takes it over. And the Tigers will be happy with that. 56 plays 53. Here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport and the TSL live stream.
As Foz said, we continue to call absolute blockbusters between the Northern Bombers and the Tigers. It's 1-1 this season. The Northern Bombers won the last by 4 points. It's currently the Tigers by 3. Tompkinson and Lee, what two Goliaths they've been today. Here's Tompkinson. He's taken in the tackle by Sulzberger, and the ball's going nowhere. So it's the Tigers by 3. Top spot, looking to seal it up. Tompkinson palms it down to his opposition ruckman. There's O'Neill. Avant tackles him.
27 minutes gone.
Oh, what a memorable first game it is for Alec Croswell down on the bench. We'll see who we can get after the game. I look forward to the post-game interview. Will it be black and red or will it be black and yellow? That's the question at the moment as the umpire circles again, and the Tigers are happy to just keep piling on the footy here. Forward of the footy, Cox Goodges there. The Tigers have got one back. That's Griggs, the defensive winger. Chugg now tries to even things up. Good move. Tompkinson. Could be another ball up. Sulzberger, Tompkinson. They go again. 28 minutes gone.
Ball's been in that vicinity for about the last 2 minutes.
And the Tigers are very happy about it, Dave Moore. 7:11:53. The Northern Bombers, they trail the Tigers 8:56. All they've got to do is get it out. It gets out here through Will Campbell. He snaps towards goal. Will Campbell down the front, leafling by hand. It goes through for a behind. Probably a good result for the Northern Bombers. They can take it from one end to the other. Here's the king, the captain, the sick one, Dave Moore, to bring us home.
Connie Young.
Oh, listen to it, Dave.
Big fly from behind there by Griffiths. He couldn't take it. Here's a chance now for Pearce. Knocks it in front of himself. Pearce picks it up. Kicks inside 50. Dean front position. Donnelly. Ben Donnelly. That's probably his 7th mark inside defensive 50 today. He releases the ball out now to Reardon, who'll use his experience here just to hold it up.
It's easy to say, but young Dean's just got to push back, don't he, against his opponent.
Reardon, that's a lovely kick to Webb, who takes the mark. Bit of attention there from Leary. The crowd want 50.
He was lucky. He was late.
I've loved the Kingborough crowd today.
Yeah, they've been very vocal. James Webb kicks up the line. You're looking for Gardner, off hands. Time's running out now for North Launceston. Little kick by, that was Sulzberger towards full forward. Great spin, College. Snap by Max College. Is offline. One behind. 29.5 minutes gone. Can they take it coast to coast? Matthew McGee.
Well, they've got their opportunity. They could have gone short. They go long to lead. Great punch. Great effort in the air there by Marcus Gardner, getting it away from Lee. And it goes out of bounds. 29.5 minutes gone. It's been 7 goals kicked for the quarter. It's going to tick over 30 minutes. Boundary throw in, right in front of the Northern Bombers supporters. In front of the Hawthorn change rooms. Lee, nice palm down. He gets Avent, the veteran. He bounces once. He bounces twice. He bounces 3 times. Jack Avent, he's got to deliver. He's got the youngster in Dean, but he can't get rid of Donnelly. It's a hard sell when you're up against Ben Donnelly. And now it's Reardon. Takes a bounce. Goes by hand. Webb was clean. He had to be. And he is, and there it is. The ball finishes with Ed Golding. Well, they've had their chance, and there's a couple of afters as well. Mansell's in there. Pearce is in there. I reckon you'd probably just leave this for the finals, boys, because it was been a great game of football. And it's the Tigers. They win a thriller by 4 points. 8-9-57 the Tigers. North Launceston 7-11-53. And this little scuffle after the siren, Rob Soward, just wants you wanting more come finals time.
It does. I hope that people that are watching and listening are already making the arrangements for the next time these two sides play in the second semi, because what a game. We've talked about the battles through the year. It's ebbed and flowed and swung around, and it's been hard to predict. Great win by Kingborough. Look forward to that second semi.
7 goals in the last quarter. North Launceston kicked 4 goals, 1, and the Tigers kicked 3 goals, 2. And the toughest job at the moment is Alec Croswell trying to get someone.
Yep,
I think
he's got Jack
someone.
Tompkinson.
So just had you down here with big man Jack Tompkinson. So he was very good today. Had a very great battle with Alex Lee. And Jack, tell me your thoughts about that one, mate.
Well, pretty good coming over the win. Hopefully that should secure top spot for us, and that was a goal coming up here today. So wanted to bounce back as well from a loss here early in the year. And yeah, just proud of the boys. We got the job done.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, mate. And just on your own game, there's always a bit of fire with the opposition when you're involved. And when you kick that goal, you might have had a few things to say to the North Launceston crowd, mate. How did that feel?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done what I did, but that's all right. It's just emotions get the better of you sometimes. And like I said before, I'm just happy I got away with the win. So, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful stuff, mate. Congratulations again. But just a quick one. Any word on Kieran Lovell, mate, and when he'll be back?
He should be right. Just playing it by ear. So, he'll be right, though, come finals and that. So, yeah, look forward to getting him back in the side.
Beautiful stuff, mate. Congratulations. Thank you. Back to you, Foz.
Thanks, Alec. Did a good job there with Jack Tompkinson in the post-game interview.
So the final scores, Foz, I think the Tigers should have 8-10-58. I think that's what our man Dave Gruber's got.
Yep.
So it's a 5-point win.
Yep.
5-point win to the Tigers. So the goal umpires came over. I believe Dave Gruber's got it right.
Yes,
as you would expect. As you'd expect, the best in the business, Dave Gruber. But boys, what another magnificent effort. You know, Bradley Cox-Goodyear with 2 goals in the last quarter. You saw the big fella there in Tompkinson with 2 goals in the last quarter. And as I said, I just cannot wait. I cannot wait until these two teams meet each other in the finals.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hopefully they do meet each other in the finals. No guarantee, is it?
No.
With only a 3-week final series, but gee whiz.
I think for mine, in watching both these sides today, and Kieran Lovell, we talked about what a big out he was for Kingborough, but for mine, probably the most important player that two most important players that Kingborough have, I reckon, are Ben Donnelly and Jack Tompkinson. In terms of what we've seen from them today. Just can't wait for the rematch in the second semi, Dave.
Yeah, look, just that second half. Ben Donnelly can't sing his praises enough, but there's marks. He took the one-on-one marks, but also the intercept marks. Plus others back there. I mean, you talk about Godomsky, you talk about Blake McCulloch, I thought was really good back there as well. Look, there's good players on both sides. I'm sure you go through a few in the moment, Rob, but a great contest. Could have gone either way in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a real toss of a coin, but Kingborough hung tough. You know, there were a couple of times there where the Bombers got their nose in front. You sort of felt that maybe they were going to get away with it. But to Kingborough's credit, they hung tough. Quality side. Very good defensive system. I mean, we talked about a couple of standout performers there, but their system allows them to do that. And then when they go forward, they've got, you know, the guys like Carter and Gardner and obviously Tompkinson that kicked those two important goals. So very well balanced. Macca talked about it earlier. The fact that they've put in the hard yards over the previous years, beaten and well beaten in last year's grand final. They've learned from that, gone away, come back a year bigger and stronger, and certainly now will finish top of the ladder.
Macca, we haven't gone through the goal kickers.
No, goal kickers. We went through a couple of the multiples, but it was Bradley Cox-Goodyear with 2, Ollie Dean with 2 with a terrific mark, Mansell, Chug and Harvey Griffiths with singles, and for Kingborough, it was 2 to Tompkinson, both in the last quarter, very important. Marcus Gardner, he got 1 in the last, 2 for the game for him, 2 to Tyler Carter, and singles to Max College and George O'Neill.
Stats for Dave Gruber while Rob thinks of his 3-2-1 there. The hit-outs today, it was Kingborough 42, North Launceston 39, but really that stat was very even over the day. Great ruck battle. Alex Lee against the two big tools there from the Tigers. Clearances, 36 to North Launceston, 31 to Kingborough, 10 each in the last quarter. Inside 50s, 48 to 47 the Tigers' way. Marks inside 50, 10 to the Tigers, 7 to North Launceston. Free kicks, 32 apiece. Intercept marks, 17 to Kingborough, 8 to North Launceston. Pretty much, you look down those stats, Macca, and it's pretty even all the way down. Intercept marks, and I think perhaps the forward entries from North Launceston in that second half probably weren't the quality they needed.
Was that 17?
Yeah, 17 to 8 over the day.
Yeah, 17 to 8, and that was a difference. You know, you mentioned Donnelly. We saw Clifford. Clifford back there, but what's the Lockie Griggs is the one I'm looking for. Defensive winger floating back.
Blake McCulloch's a good story too, Mac. He's having a lot of time out with a knee injury, and he's come back this year.
Look, they just had a really good performance today, Kingborough. I thought that they were more even performance. I thought North Launceston had a lot of blokes down at different stages throughout the game and really didn't play or deliver the footy to their ability. I thought their back line held the minute, like Bennett and Young especially. They took it up to the forwards for Kingborough. But, look, terrific contest. North Launceston, a bit like Launceston, North Launceston are going to be really determining their side based on how deep the Devils go. The Devils finals will start. Now, the Devils will hopefully go deep, at least preliminary final stage and then into the grand final one step better than last year. But if they can get some Devils back, your Heath Ollingtons and that who can run the footy, for example, Max Roney, another runner. The Tigers don't have as many of them to come back. Launceston have got heaps to come back. You put a Colby McKercher and a James Leake and Ari into their side, they're much better. So, look, it's going to be interesting. Both of those teams, as much as they want the Tassie Devils to do well, they wouldn't mind some of those boys being back.
No, absolutely. And they certainly missed some of that today, as you've touched on. And I'll quickly whip through the best players before I give my votes. So I think a real theme today for me, guys, was that the Northern Bombers had a lot of players that came in and out of the game. They probably didn't have a lot of the regular four-quarter contributors. Alex Lee hung tough. We talked, Alec Croswell highlighted a couple of times where there were some injury concerns. Connie Young, I thought, did some really good things. Fletcher Bennett did some really good things. Nathan Pearce flashed in and out of the game at both ends of the ground and through the middle. Probably the bigger contributors for me over the 4 quarters for the Bombers. I really liked the game of Oliver Dean. We talked about him right at the very start, Mackie. You highlighted what he brought and he showed that. He took a great mark, kicked a couple of good goals. I thought Oscar Mansell was really, really lively, and he did some things that, you might sort of say
moments.
Yeah, he did have his moments and see some opportunities. For me, the best 4-quarter player for the Bombers, I thought, was Declan Chugg. I mean, he tried his heart out all game. He's had some injury challenges. But to me, he did some great things. When I look for Kingborough, like a real nightmare, you know, I've ripped out what remaining hair I've had left trying to find some best players in what was a very, very even team effort. Will Campbell and Eddie Cole, we called them a lot today. Elijah Reardon again did some great things throughout the game. I really like the game of Max College. He kicked a good goal, created a couple of others. Marcus Gardner, that big presence that he provides. But when it comes to the votes, a bit left field. Declan Chugg, I gave him 1 vote. I thought he was the Northern Bombers' best 4-quarter contributor. 2 votes I gave to Alec Croswell's first interview on City Park Radio, Jack Tompkinson. I thought he was really, really good. He did a couple of silly things, but he's just that big, strong body, went forward and presented when he needed to. Now, out there in Radio Land, as I do the drum roll for the 3 votes, for every defender that's ever played the game, something you don't see, 3 votes to Ben Donnelly. I thought his 4-quarter effort was terrific. His intercept marking, his one-on-one marking, and then that mark he took in the shadows of the post, as it were.
Dean, yes.
Against Dean, a much taller opponent. Just, you know, the ability to do that in their system got him over the line for the 3 votes for me. So just to recap on that, 3, 2 and 1. 1 vote Declan Chugg, Northern Bombers. 2 votes Jack Tompkinson, Kingborough Tigers. And 3 votes in a fantastic defensive effort, Ben Donnelly from the Kingborough Tigers.
Thanks to Rob Soward for his insights today, and so good summary there of the better players. Well, that's about all from us here at UTAS Day. It's been a fantastic contest. That's another less than 1 goal margin between these 2 teams at UTAS Stadium over the last couple of years. So we'll see what happens in come finals time next week. City Park Radio Sport, we're at Windsor Park, which is now a game that has a fair bit of significance leading into the finals, with Launceston wanting to bounce back from their defeat today against North Hobart as they take on Lauderdale with that superstar duo of Siggins and Christensen. So it's going to be a fantastic contest there. Join us from 5 to 2 next.